What is good, y'all? What is popping? You know how we do to start the show. Let me just make sure all my sound is good. What's popping, y'all? Let me just get my sound situated so we can get started on tonight's live. We got to talk about a lot tonight, you guys. We got to talk about Casanova, the big homie Casanova. So free Casanova. Salute to Casanova, all of his loved ones, all of his fans and supporters out there. Also, we got to talk about this Hassan Campbell Maino thing, you guys. But also for everybody that's tapping in, I had an update on Dark Low's address. I actually just got a P.O. box to add to the address, so I want to make sure I get that out to everybody that needs it. Let's see what we got here. Let me get this whole thing situated for everybody as we get the live stream situated and started tonight. Major respect to everybody for tapping in. All right, let me see. Here we go. So if anybody, was going to send out a letter to Dark Low, I'm giving you the information now. I just had a little bit that I needed to add to it. So for everybody that was interested in that, I'm going to pin it up. Just give me 1 second, and I will have it all together for you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, awesome. What's going on, Leak? Appreciate you, Akeem, Jonathan. What's going on? Appreciate everybody for tapping in. What's up? Everybody that wants to write Dark Low, I've got the address right here. I've got the P.O. box attached. That's what I needed to attach to it. My apologies for the other night. And I've also got the zip code for everybody interested in the information to write Dark Low. You heard what I'm saying? For everybody interested in getting the information to write Dark Low, I'm going to go ahead and pin it up. Yesterday I had it, but I did not have the P.O. box, you guys. I do apologize. I did not have the P.O. box. I did not have the zip code. Well, actually, the zip code is there. So hold on 1 second. Let me just put that back. So you see they got the zip code wrong right there. Let me just get this right before we get things going here. Okay, I see what it is. We got to get rid of that. Got to add this in here. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. Let me see. P.O. Box 87. So pretty much I just got to put 879 there. Just want to make sure all this information is accurate. I know there's a lot of people that want the information for Dark Low. I've got it right here for you guys. Let me see. Devin 0143. All right, perfect. And I got that right. And now we've got the address perfect. I'm going to get it up here. What's going on, Cloud9? I definitely appreciate you for tapping in. Excuse me for the delay in this, y'all. I've got the address for Dark Low now. I've got Dark Low's name here. We've got his inmate number, the FMC, the Devons. We've got the zip code as well as the P.O. box. So everybody that needs this information to write Dark Low, we've got it here now. We've got it here now officially. Excuse me for yesterday doing that, man. We've got some shit to talk about tonight, though, you guys. We have got some shit to talk about tonight, man. How's it going, William? Appreciate you, Cloud9. Land Hustle TV is in the building. What up, Bama? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We've got a couple different topics to speak on, y'all. Let's get ready for a dope live video. Everybody go ahead and share this video. Everybody go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know where you're tapping in from. I'm about to light up myself, so let me know what you're blazing as well. We got some shit to talk about tonight. Casanova actually spoke to a judge. Casanova has actually pled guilty, you guys. He's pled out in this case. We're going to get into what he pled out to. We all know that he's facing quite a bit of time. He's facing 5 to 60 years of incarceration. I don't take anything. I'm not doing any of that, taking anything into me. Y'all can hit me on the DM on Instagram and let me know what's good, though. It's Mikey T underscore the movie star. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram and get in contact with me over there. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping into the live video, though. Gonna get things going in a couple minutes, man. We got to get our smoke on to start the show, man. I hope y'all is doing having a great day. Damian Dangerous with no bail. That's wrong. Casanova's been locked up since 2020. He's been locked up for about 2 years now. You know what I mean? Facing some serious shit. Appreciate everybody for tapping in and checking out the Kid interview as well. Wanted to run one of my classics right there. Excuse me 1 second. Got to get these tags proper. Appreciate everybody for tapping in on my live stream tonight. What up? Checking in, my guy Southpaw. Checking in from Phoenix, Arizona. We got Phoenix, Arizona in the building. Come on, Damien. Don't go that far with it, brother. Appreciate everybody for sharing this video. My guy Schizo's in the building tonight. Major salute to Schizo for tapping in. Philadelphia Eagles is in the building. We're about to get things started in a few minutes. You know, we're just on a roll call. You know, we're just getting things started. We're on the introduction. I'm not talking about Gillian Wallow's new show intros, but major salute to that show because, you know, they're fitting to be on to some big shit this coming year. We got Cleveland in the building. Land Hustle TV. Cleveland is in the building. That's a hot spot for hip hop for sure. You guys. I definitely enjoyed my time. I went out to Cleveland like a year and a half ago. I went out there like a year and a half ago or something like that. Stayed out there for like a week. Actually, no. I only stayed out there for a weekend. I was thinking of something else because I went to actually Niagara Falls. I stopped in Niagara Falls on the way to Cleveland, but that's another story. Tonight we got to get into Hassan Campbell pretty much responding to Maino. You guys, but also bringing up Wack 100. He brings up Snow Billy. He's bringing up all the main characters, you know what I mean, from the world of Clubhouse, from the world of YouTube, from the land of pretty much where all these guys go back and forth. You know, Maino pretty much put up a video in the last week where he checked himself out of it. Maino was like, yo, I don't want anything to do with what y'all have going on. You know, we went over it a few days ago. Maino was like, I don't want anything to do with negativity. Don't hit my line if it doesn't have to do with something that is productive in nature. Hassan Campbell's responded to this. Hassan Campbell's responding to this, and he is actually exposing the situation that Maino had with Wack 100. You know, this situation that happened in Brooklyn, you guys. this situation that happened, and it involved Uncle Murda as well. And we know that Uncle Murda and Maino at a certain point in time were actually tied to one another. I think it was the days, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe at one point Uncle Murda and Maino were teaming up and creating mixtapes together, and Birdman was actually taking interest in them as a duo. Am I right, Uncle Murda and Maino? And this was just prior to Uncle Murda getting the deal with G Unit. I was talking to my boy, and he was like, Uncle Murda being in the situation, putting together Maino and Wack 100 is a whole nother story. Now, when Wack 100 gets together with Uncle Murda and then he has 7 or 8 other dudes, they are not somebody that can be conducive to a positive situation. Now you're bringing in outside influence. So right then and there is where the situation got taken to a level where it shouldn't have been. If we're gonna have a meetup, even if we're gonna have a China Mac AD style meetup, you know what I mean? Even if we're gonna have that style of a meetup, at least let it be one-on-one, or in some cases, each person will bring one friend with them. But I'm not sure what was gonna go on here. I kind of feel like Uncle Murda was there as the neutral party to pretty much help these guys talk things out. But maybe I'm wrong, you guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Sour Diesel, hell yeah, Akeem's on that. Akeem's on that Sour Diesel. Major salute to you. Hell yeah, Land Hustle. I do got to come back to Cleveland. Hell yeah, I do. Sour Diesel's a dope bud. I like blazing some Sour Diesel. Jeremy, who was that was supposed to have a show? Oh, was it Maino and Uncle Murda that was supposed to have a show coming out on Revolt TV? I really hadn't caught wind of that, but when I was speaking with Arab and a couple other people, actually, they had mentioned how Birdman was in New York, and I seem to remember Birdman taking an interest with them. I really didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Uncle Murda has been through so many different labels in his career, though. So, he obviously attracts attention. He's attracted the attention of 2 of the other major heavyweights as well. Uncle Murda has attracted the attention of Jay-Z, Rockefeller. Now he's running around with 50 Cent and G Unit. But that brings a whole nother question to my mind. And that question is, what the hell? Why didn't they end up signing with Cash Money? Some of the rumors that I was hearing was it wasn't enough bread. Some of the rumors I was hearing was that they didn't really like the situation that Birdman was offering them. But shit, the fact that these guys came together making mixtapes, and a record label wanted to attach themselves to that, I think they should have jumped on it. Uncle Murda, but what I was actually going to say, I'm sorry, I lost it. But what I really don't understand is why Uncle Murda, a guy who is rocking with 50 Cent, would actually align himself with Wack 100. You know what I mean? That's one of the main factors in this that I actually don't understand. How the hell is Wack 100 going to be sitting up in Brooklyn with Uncle Murda, and Uncle Murda is riding for G Unit? You know what I mean? That would have never happened in 2004. 50 Cent would have been on the Hot 97 radio the very next day. Uncle Murda is kicked out of G Unit. I am formally kicking Uncle Murda out of G Unit. You will not see Uncle Murda on the next G Unit album. Or you will not have any more G Unit releases from Lenny Grant has been canceled. You know what I mean? Look at the situation, how much it's changed. Now you've got Uncle Murda, a guy who's flying around in private jets with Fifth, chilling with the management of 50 Cent's biggest adversary. He's chilling with the manager of the guy who legitimately destroyed G Unit. You know what I'm saying? The guy who legitimately destroyed G Unit. What's good? What's good? Tyler A. Breezy, what's popping with you, man? Salute, Playboy. Everybody in here, share this video. Let's go. Let everybody know Mikey T is live, man. We got some dope shit to talk about tonight. Hassan Campbell pretty much exposing Maino over the Wack 100 beef. Casanova, a more serious situation. Casanova pleads guilty and he's facing 60 years. Casanova has a sentencing. It's pretty far away, though, you guys. Casanova's sentencing is all the way in December, y'all. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Jeremy. That, you know what I mean? That's the point that I was trying to make. Jeremy says that's a good point. 50 don't play that. Uncle Murda is across the street. That's what he said about the game. Yep. Yo, you across the street now. Oh, you hanging out with Wack 100? Uncle Murda, you across the street now, bro. Good luck with your 2024 wrap up because it ain't going to be wrapped up with the Lenny Grant album. You know, Tyler, I think Maino doesn't want to hear about it. When in all reality, I don't think Maino wants to hear about it. You know what I mean? Like Maino said in his message, Hassan actually played his message on his channel. Same message that we went over a few days ago. You know, Maino said he does not want to be bothered every time a blogger comes at him, every time somebody is on the internet ridiculing him. He wants to hear about it when somebody is on the internet talking about him in a positive way. He wants to hear about it when you're coming to him with something productive. You know what I mean? That's the type of tip that Maino was on, you guys. Maino wasn't on that tip where he wants to hear from all of his friends. He doesn't want to hear from his friend about some beef that's going on the internet that he's not even aware of. There's people beefing with Maino on the internet, you guys, and he's not even aware of it. He has no idea what's going on. He's too busy at Philippe's Chow or whatever that place is called that I haven't been to yet. You know what I'm saying? He's too busy in those spots, enjoying himself, enjoying the fruits of his labor. You know what I'm saying? The fruits of his labors. The guy really put in work for several years. For now, the internet age, you know what I mean? The internet age is using his name to tear him down. The internet age is using his name for clicks. And he just doesn't want to continuously be made aware of it. You know what I mean? I imagine when Maino first got his Instagram, first got his social media, Twitter and all that, he was getting so many ats. Maybe he was loving it at first, but after a while, it probably started to get under his nerve. Especially when you're seeing all these different type of crazy headlines. But that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I appreciate everybody. We just hit over 100 people. Let's share this video, man. Let's share this video. Appreciate everybody in here supporting the channel. Tyler says Maino is a real dude. I F's with dude 100. Yep, there are people that ride behind Maino. Like I said, he's taken many years to make a career for himself after he got out of jail. You know what I mean? He really jumped into the game running. You know what I mean? He seriously did. West Adams, Maino was around for a number of years. Go check when his albums were released. Go tell me the first Maino album released. You probably can't even tell me the first Maino album title. You know what I'm saying? People is just, you know what I mean? People is just stuck in a different era, you know? But Maino had a run. Maino had a run. I'm not talking about a Rick Ross, a 50 Cent like run. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that run. But Maino was all over the television. Maino found his records to be all over the television. Yep. And there's other things you remember. There's other things you remember him for as well. The hand of God. You know what I'm saying? What up, Carnegie? Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Yeah, Jeremy Maino put in work in the game, you guys. He put in real music industry work. He's not really well, I mean, shit, he did start a podcast. You know what I mean? He's not in the space to keep on going back and forth with dudes. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not on a versus battle. Let's be real. That's what I'm saying. Come on, bro. Yo, what up? What up? What up? No more for me. Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in. Will Benjamin talking about some shit that he remembers from Maino. I see what you're saying, bro. So yeah, man. Maino said some shit, you guys. Excuse me. Hassan said some shit. Hassan was like, you can tell that Wack has more respect for me than what he say and he do. When he had beef with Maino, he went to Brooklyn. So, right, I had heard about this. Obviously. Hassan's talking about it now. When Wack 100, when he had beef with Maino, he went to Brooklyn. With who? He went to Brooklyn, you guys, with Uncle Murda. And he sat outside in the projects and waited for Maino. This is what Hassan is saying, you guys. This is what Hassan is saying. Wack 100 went to Brooklyn. Hassan is saying that he can tell that Wack 100 has more respect for him. He's a little bit more weary of going to I guess Bronx River from what Hassan is saying here. You know what I mean? Hassan is saying that he has more respect. He can tell that Wack has more respect for him because of the fact that he literally went to Maino's area. He literally grabbed Maino's homie, you guys. He grabbed Maino's top dog. Not his top dog necessarily, but he grabbed one of his top dogs and he said, hey, man, you're Maino's homie. Maino and I are having issues. I want to see Maino face to face. Southpaw says Maino versus who in a battle? It doesn't matter who. That, you know what I mean? I was really just saying that because if you're gonna hit Maino up, Maino wants you to hit him up with some positive shit. Maino wants you to hit him up with some positive interaction. He doesn't want you to hit him up. Yo, this dude is talking about you on the internet. Yo, this guy said this about. Yo, Maino, this is what you did. What do you mean was what I did? You've been knowing me for 15 years. Why are you talking to me about a blog that you watched? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sure that annoys the hell out of Maino, going through that every single day, every time a new blog pops off, you know what I mean, that mentions his name. Like, let's be real, man. Like, let's be real, man. Like, this is how it is. Maino doesn't want to hear about this shit, you guys. He really doesn't want to be bothered with it. Who would want to be bothered with all the negative aspects of life when they're living their best one? You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. My guys in the building, Lobby Boys. Lobby Boys are in the building tonight. Major salute. Major salute. Shout out Mikey T, keeping up the good work. You already know we stay consistent. We stay grinding, man. Putting out this work consistently. There's no other way to do it. Let me see real quick. Just make sure everything's straight. Everybody go ahead and share this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share this video, you guys. Need y'all to share this video. About to roll something else up. Need y'all to let me know what y'all blazing. We're just getting into it. We're just getting into it. It's it kind of seems like to me, it kind of seemed to me like Hassan was almost saying something nice about Wack 100, but I don't really think that's the case. I don't really think that's the case, to be honest with you. So let's see. So he said, when he had beef, meaning Wack 100 had beef with Maino, he went to Brooklyn with Uncle Murda and sat outside in the projects and waited for Maino. Called Maino out. You didn't see him go to the Bronx. You hear that? You didn't see him go to the Bronx. Scratch that. Scratch that. You didn't see Wack 100 go to K Slay's funeral. You know why he didn't go to K Slay's funeral? Because he knew he burnt some bridges with me. See what I'm saying? Just when you think maybe he's backing Wack 100 up. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, he's not backing Wack 100 up. He threw Wack 100 right under the bus as well, you guys. Hassan went on. All that other stuff that happened with Snow Billy, it happened afterwards. So, so Hassan is basically pointing that out, that the reason that Wack didn't attend wasn't because of anything that was said. Like we saw these blogs popping up in the last few weeks or whatever, last few days. You know what I'm saying? We saw the blogs pop up after the fact. You know what I mean? After the fact. Hassan and Wack were beefing before the fact. Oh shit. Let me just weed out a hater, you guys. My bad. Excuse me. Yo, yeah. What's poppin'? Appreciate you for tuning in. Major salute to everybody tuning in on the video. Be sure to share this joint. We got a lot to talk about tonight. You know, Hassan Campbell pretty much put Maino on blast over the Wack 100 beef. We know what's going on with Casanova, you guys. You know what I mean? We know what's going on with Casanova. He pled guilty. He's going to be facing between 5 and 60 years of incarceration. A lot of people are saying that he could get as much as 40. You know, a lot of people are thinking he won't get the full 60 because of the fact that he pled out. We saw Dark Low go through this, man. We saw Dark Low go through this in the past. You know, when Low got out of jail, we all thought it was really good. We thought it was really good for Low. You know what I mean? We're like, damn, Low's out of jail. Dark Low must be situated. He must not be going back in. That wasn't the case. Dark Low was sentenced. He was sentenced, what was it, about 7 months into his house arrest. 7 months into his house arrest, so 20 months in total into his incarceration because he had 13 months behind the bars. So he was sentenced in August to 7 years in jail. He was sentenced to 7 years in jail, you guys. I don't think that's something that any of us actually expected. Too Real for TV says you should do Twitch too. That's a good idea, man. That's a good idea. I was just trying to think of a couple different things to do on Twitch, actually. I was just thinking about a couple different things to do on Twitch. Young Dolph, rest in peace to Young Dolph. Really, you know, getting those interviews was something that was like something that I felt was really big in my career. So I'm always gonna hold young Dolph to a certain extent. I'm gonna always hold him in my heart. You know what I mean? Because he gave me that opportunity to actually link with him a couple different times. Yeah, so I'm always gonna remember Young Dolph, man. And can we get a Mikey T versus battle? Perhaps Mikey T versus Academics. Hey man, a lot of these guys probably couldn't hang with me when it came to a versus battle. You know what I mean? Academics is really starting to build up his catalog right now, though. I ain't gonna lie, he really has the who's who on his new Off the Record podcast. So, but I would be open for that, man. You know, I'd love to put my interviews on the big screen. My interviews with Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Pusha T, Young Dolph, Yo Gotti, Max B. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to put those. I got 20. Does Academics got 20? Does Hassan Campbell got 20? One of these guys got 20? I know Doggy Diamond's got 20. You know what I mean? I know they got 20 to go. So a versus battle and interviews against any of those guys would be awesome. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people are kind of like, why would two guys doing an interview do a versus battle? Well, let me put it in perspective for you. I could probably have multiple people come out and endorse me during those interviews. I could probably get a special guest spot from maybe Scott Storch. I've interviewed Scott Storch. I could possibly get a special guest spot from, let's say, let's get French Montana to come through. You know what I mean? Put in a call. I could get Max B over the phone. Doggy Diamonds would probably already have that one on Smash, though, if he did one against me. What up? What up? What up? Free Casanova, you guys. Academics actually posted a message. Let me read about Casanova real quick, you guys, because academics actually just posted a message about it. A lot of people, No Jumper posted about Casanova as well. Casanova pled guilty to federal drug and racketeering charges, admitting to a series of crimes committed while leading an interstate gang. He faces 5 to 60 years in prison. This is what No Jumper had reposted on their page, you guys. Like I said, everybody is posting this news, even Rolling Stone, all the major news websites, obviously. This is pretty much like, to have the Casanova pleading out right after what happened to Young Thug is just pretty nuts. But the fact that he's not going to be sentenced, the fact that he's not going to be sentenced until December, you know what I mean? Like, that's actually a similar time frame to what we just said to Dark Low. Low was out for 7 months before they sentenced him. Um, that's right. Free Casanova 2 times. I'm about to roll something up. Let me know what y'all are blazing, if y'all are blazing. Yeah, I agree with you, Will. I agree with you. Hollow versus Mikey T. Summer Madness. Come on, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, you guys. Hollow's my dog. Hollow's my dog, man. I want to have him on the channel, man. I don't want to go and do a versus battle with him. Hollow would mop the floor with me in a rap battle. Actually, never mind. I ain't saying that. You never say that about yourself. You never say somebody will mop the floor with you in a rap battle. You got to say you're the best rapper in the game. I ain't playing that. I ain't playing that. I ain't playing that where you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to back down. I'm going to back down. I ain't backing down. This ain't no 50 Cent and Ja Rule shit. This is Mikey T, the movie star. We don't back down. Maybe we get beat down, but we don't back down. Well, Southpaw, I just re-premiered a Skinny Me interview the other day. I don't know if you weren't tapped in, but I just re-premiered it. About 30-minute interview. Skinny speaks on a lot. Shout out to Taxstone. Let his people know I want to do an interview with him from behind the wall, too. It is what it is. It is what it is. I got a lot of interviews that I'm planning on doing in the near future, you guys. A lot of interviews, a lot of live interviews, too, y'all. I got a lot of live interviews that I'm planning on doing in the very near future. So I need y'all to definitely stay tuned for that. But like I said on here, you never really know. You never really know. You never really know who's gonna pop on to here. Like, I was just talking to my guy the other day, and he's like, "Yo, just send me the link anytime you're on live." And I was like, "Yo, when it makes sense, I'll definitely send you the link." You know what I mean? I really appreciate that. But a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you guys, we're really going over news. We're on here to go over the hip hop news and stuff like that. So I really don't know where the rap appearances actually fit in. I really got to make time for actually doing interviews in a different format. What up? What up? What, Inner City? Appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody in here, go ahead and share this video. I agree with you, man. The snitch word is used too freely. With the whole Casanova situation, I don't think that applies to his situation whatsoever. You know what I mean? He's been sitting up for 2 years. He's been sitting up for 2 years. His case, he gets an opportunity. You know what I mean? He actually gets an opportunity to plead out. You know what I mean? He gets an opportunity to plead guilty and get a facing of a sentence between apparently 5 to 60 years, which is not good, you guys. The fact that he could get as much as 60 years of incarceration. You know what I mean? He could get up to 60 years of incarceration. Some people are thinking he'll get less time. Some people are as hopeful that he'll get 5 years. No more for me, says Mikey T. Casanova's a hard dude, taking it like a G. Yeah, we've heard multiple things from Casanova. But I would have to say you would have to read the conversation that Casanova actually had with the judge. Pretty crazy conversation that Casanova actually had in the judge. Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me see. Let me get back to this because I wanted to read this post that academics actually posted about Cass. I'm about to put a poll up, you guys. I'm about to put a poll up, you guys. I'm putting this poll up, you guys, so get ready to vote in it. It's going to be how much time is Casanova going to serve? I want to know what everybody in the chat has to say. I want to know what everybody in the chat thinks about this one. Also, Dark Low's information to write is up there. The updated information to write Dark Low, you guys. The updated information to write Dark Low is up there. Everybody put a vote in. Put a vote in right now. Let me know what you think he's going to get. Some people are thinking it's going to be 20 years. I'm going to go ahead and keep it hopeful, and I'm going to hope for him to get between the 5 and the 10-year mark. Because of the fact that he pled out, you know what I mean? The fact that he pled guilty, you know what I mean? He pled guilty. He's facing between 5 and 60 years. I think if they were to give him a 60-year sentence, that would be unrealistic. That would be unrealistic and really just vicious. So I don't see him getting that horrible of a sentence. I could see him getting, yeah, like Maul saying 8 years. Like Maul's saying, I could see him getting something like 8 years. I could see him getting the 10 years. The 10 years is really what I would have to go for. 5 years would be absolutely amazing because of the fact that he pled out already. You know what I mean? I would have hoped that Casanova could have beat this case. You know what I mean? But a lot of times when you're in situations like this, not everybody gets that case like Irv Gotti had, where he was able to actually beat the feds. Irv Gotti he got offers too. Irv Gotti actually got an offer apparently where his brother could serve 6 months and then he could serve 6 months. So they would never miss a portion of their time running the Murder Inc. label. What's going on, Alicia? Appreciate you for tapping in. Major respect. Major respect on the tap in tonight. Rich from the Rack, definitely appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Everybody share this video if you haven't already. Rich from the Rack says 5 to 7 years. I'm right around that same time. You know what I mean? I'm right around that same time frame. You know, I kind of look at this case in similar fashion to the Pooh Shiesty case. I look at it like the Dark Low situation. We know what happened with Pooh Shiesty. You know what I mean? We know what happened with Pooh Shiesty. He actually was in the middle of two cases at the same time. You know what I mean? Pooh Shiesty was actually in the middle of two cases at the same time. He had run off on that whole altercation in Miami and then got involved in a whole nother melee. You know what I mean? He got involved in a whole nother melee at King of Diamonds. You know what I mean? And then at that point, they're like, yo, enough is enough, man. And he had to actually plead out in the first case. Free the guys. Like I said, everybody who wants that information on Dark Low, I actually added the correct zip code. I had to change the zip code and I added a P.O. box, you guys. I messed up. I didn't put the correct P.O. box. Forgive me. I hope y'all didn't send out your letters. If so, I've attached the new information there. It's pinned up. Y'all can just write it down. Hopefully, y'all didn't send out the letters just yet. Yeah, Rich, he's been locked up since 2020. Yeah, he's been locked up. 80% of 15 years. So what's that, 13 years? So what's that, about 13 years or something? Let me see what I got here. Okay, this is what we're rolling up tonight. So let me get into this post from Academics. He had posted something up on his story, or his post actually, and it said, Brooklyn-born rapper Casanova pled guilty Wednesday to federal drug and racketeering charges. Jesus, man. How do they literally, everybody vote in the poll, you guys. How do they keep getting these artists on these type of charges, man? You know what I mean? At some point, it's like, yo, like, I can understand you're going to come and you're going to wrap somebody up that really never made it in the rap game. You know what I mean? And you're going to pretty much, or somebody that really never got their start in the game and then they look kind of crazy. You know, there's a couple different situations like that we've seen happen. I don't really need to bring up any names. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you've studied the game and you've seen it, you know. But with Casanova, with Young Thug, with these artists, man, it's like they're artists that are actually out there getting money. These are artists that are actually out there already making a name for themselves dominantly. You know what I mean? They're making a name for themselves in dominant fashion. So let me see here. So Academics had posted this joint that said Brooklyn rapper Casanova pled guilty Wednesday to federal drug and racketeering charges, admitting to a series of crimes committed while leading an interstate gang. Casanova, born Caswell Sr., first surrendered to the FBI in late 2020. So, according to that, he's been locked up for about a little less than 2 years, being the fact that we're at the early stages of 2022. Now, prosecutors allege that he led the untouchable Guerrilla Stone Nation Bloods gang and in that role directed a conspiracy that spanned from New York to Florida. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan said Wednesday that Casanova admitted to a July 2020 incident in Florida, an August 2018 robbery in New York City, and into trafficking more than 100 kilograms of marijuana. That is absolutely nuts. That is absolutely nuts, you guys. Because when you think back to Casanova, actually, you know what I mean? When you look back to Casanova, the last thing that he was doing was actually promoting that Casanova 2 times marijuana. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? How are they including all the marijuana charges in this situation? It really makes absolutely no sense. The man had started pushing a line of marijuana, you know, and now they're going to throw all that in his face. Like, wow, you know. It's like they're saying he was just doing that as like he was using that as a cover or something. What do you mean as a cover? He was evidently pushing the 2 times. He wasn't using it as a cover or nothing. But I was reading some shit that he was actually sending messages through Instagram DMs. West Adams says if you don't have the proper licensing for a marijuana company, it's illegal. Yeah, a lot of people actually won't, they won't put all that information up that they're a legal company and all that. They're just going to put it out there that they got a new bag, they got a new fancy designer bag. You know what I mean? They got a new designer bag that it looks cool. The bud's probably not all that gas. It's more than likely ass. You know what I'm saying? But they got a cool bag. You know what I mean? You got a big 2 times on it. It gets you 2 times as high. Well, it gets you 2 times as much jail time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you just smoke the weed and focus on your shows? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you just smoke your weed and focus on your shows? As it says here at the end of Academic's post on Instagram, it said the rapper is best known for the 2016 cut "Don't Run," and he is due to be sentenced this coming December, at which time he faces a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison and a maximum. So, mandatory minimum, you guys. There's no way he gets any less time than 5 years. You guys are like, Mikey, we understand. So, there's no way he gets any less time than 5 years in jail and a maximum sentence of 60 years in jail, you guys. So, that's pretty crazy right there. It looks to me like in the comments, Fatboy SSE, my bro Fatboy SSE was actually getting at 6'9". Thugs and Roses says Mikey T. Mikey T, Mikey T, you F's with gelato? Hell yeah, I mess with gelato, bro. Very good strain. I actually had the cookies gelato called gelati. Yeah, so that's a pretty crazy situation with Casanova right there. Pleading out, set to be sentenced in how many months is that, you guys? So I guess that would be 6 months from now. Or no, is it 8 months from now, actually? Yeah, it would be 8 months from now. Casanova is going to be sentenced. So we got quite a bit of time. You know what I mean? We've got quite a bit of time before the decision is even made. I'm wondering, what is really going to be going into the thought process of this decision. I'm wondering if there's anything that could change the process of this decision. And I'm not talking about Casanova ratting. I don't think that's what we're going to get here. You know what I mean? Sorry to burst some of your all bubbles, but there's not going to be any Casanova caught ratting, Casanova exposed for ratting. You're not going to get those headlines over here. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like that's what Casanova is resorting to. When somebody pleads out of the case, they're bowing out. He's bowing out gracefully. He doesn't want to go through the whole spectacle of the trial. You know what I mean? Where he might get burnt. Look what happened to Max B. Are we forgetting what happened to the Big Avell? Are we forgetting what happened to Max when he decided against taking that plea? Are we forgetting when Max B just wouldn't plead guilty? When he wouldn't just plead guilty, you guys, he could have got 10 years. And this was in 2009. This was in 2008, 2007. You know what I'm saying? This was back then. This was back in those days. Max B could have pled 10 years. He would have been out of jail in 2019, 2018, you guys. I don't know if some of you don't remember that, but I'm letting you know. What's going on, John Cooley, JC? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Real talk. What up, what up, what up? Appreciate you for tapping in. Thugs and Roses. What's up with you, man? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Casanova really to speak on that, Casanova really seemed to become, like a very serious family man. The way we would see him travel, dude went to Africa, dude went on safaris, he planned out special occasions with his wife. Coming out of jail, some dudes are like that. You know what I mean? When you come out of jail, some dudes are like that. They'll really just try to see the best things of life. You know what I mean? Look at Wallow. You know what I mean? The way Wallow posts on Instagram sometimes, and I'm not even just talking about the post where he's, where he's giving out, mad different game. I'm in that sense. I'm talking about when he looks at some flowers and bringing his girl some flowers. Like he looks at shit like that so much different. You got to imagine somebody who's been in the can for that type of period of time. They're going to look at things like that a little bit different than the guys like us who have just been out here the whole time. You know what I mean? They have a different appreciation for life. You know what I mean? What up, Buckshot TV? Appreciate you for tapping in. And yeah, for real, Sean. Yeah, Sean, real shit. Sean says, yeah, man, those interviews, excuse me. Sean says, yeah, man, those interviews had me thinking Cass turned it all around. I was pulling for him. Yeah, a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? Like I was literally just talking, with one of my homies before the show a few hours ago about Young Thug's situation. You know what I mean? Young Thug's situation is one that nobody really could have predicted. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow afternoon. That's not really the topic tonight. But a guy like Young Thug, a guy like Casanova, you know what I mean? Evidently, guys who had come from the bottom, you know what I mean? You can just tell the way that Young Thug, was acting before he got on, you know what I mean? Going to Gucci Man and selling him a Rolex, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's like, wow, these guys are doing whatever to make a dollar, you know what I mean? They just need to get it. Casanova, we heard his story, ran up into check cashing stores. You know what I'm saying? Literally doing whatever they can do to get money. So when we saw them actually break onto the scene, like I had interviewed Casanova after his song Don't Run started to take off. I literally witnessed Young Thug at shows getting bread, getting thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? You look at these guys like they've transitioned past the streets, transitioned successfully, never having to return. I was kind of wondering a little bit earlier how somebody like a Jay-Z or any of those others from Rock Nation must look at a situation like this. You know what I mean? Because if you get into that marijuana industry, I mean, shit, look what Burner's done with it. Burner has turned it into a $50 million conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? 60, 70. It's going to be worth 100 million plus. You know what I mean? He did it respectfully. You know what I mean? You got to do it respectfully. You know what I mean? You can't just get into it because you're like, oh shit, my money's slowing up and Jay-Z's not going to look at me the same way if I don't got M's. No, man, that's not how you can look at shit. You know what I mean? Burner wasn't looking at it like that. Burner was looking at it like it was something that he was genuinely into. I see Tony Yayo now getting involved in the marijuana scene. He's a little bit late. You know what I mean? He's a little bit late, but I guess he's doing it the proper way. So that's awesome. You know what I mean? Yayo just needs to be a little bit more active. Yep. Yep, bro. We are going to talk about that, man. Yo, real talk. I don't really talk like that on my channel, bro. I don't just get on here and be saying all that crazy shit like that, to be honest with you. Damien says Young Thug is getting karma for trolling Lil Wayne. Let's not forget. We'll talk about that tomorrow. For real, for real. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that tomorrow for real, because there's a lot to dig into when it comes to that. And tonight, we're not talking about that, actually. Tonight, Let me get back into this though. So yeah, I got through that Casanova piece. Let's get back into the Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell went on. He was like, he said, Hassan brought up the message that Maino had for the general public, right? But notably the bloggers. Maino was talking to the bloggers, but he was also talking to his associates, I think. I kind of feel that way. Like Maino was kind of like sending a message to like his friends, his fans, like, yo, please stop messaging me with all that shit. Please stop messaging me with all that shit. Let's be honest with you. Okay, so Maino said we went over it the other night. Anybody that knows me, please don't call my phone if it ain't about business. Y'all, we all pretty much went over this message. But Hassan Campbell reiterated the message actually. He reiterated the message and he wanted to respond to it. Hassan Campbell felt the need to actually respond to this message, you guys. Wow, hold on. I see you, thugs. Thugs and Roses. Wallow is living his best life. I agree with you, man. Wallow is living his best life. I'm rolling something up, you guys. What am I rolling up? Oh, yeah, the runts. Hell yeah. Let's go. Sorry, you guys. I got to break a Dutch. I got to break a Dutch. What's everybody smoking on, man? Everybody blazing on tonight, y'all. What y'all blazing on? Gelato 33. How's that Larry Bird, bro? How's that Larry Bird, man? Because I didn't like the batch that I got, but the Gelato 33 is always great. Gelato 33 is always lit, man. But I didn't really like that Larry Bird, to be honest with you. Like my boy gave me like I think I had like a O of that Larry Bird, and I was not feeling it. Um, Jack Hara and Runts. Jack O'Hara. Yeah, I remember that shit. I haven't had that in a while though. What up, John Cooley? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. How's the runt smoking, man? I'm just about to put some more in the air myself. Huh. Gelato is supposed to be an indica dominant, but the high is more of a sativa high. Yo, man, I'm not gonna lie, I like that sativa. You know what I mean? I like the sativa high, honestly. Especially when you're, trying to when you're, because like I usually smoke indica, right? I usually smoke indica all the time, but that should be having me tired out all day pretty much because that's what I really like my effect from weed to be. But smoking on a sativa the last few weeks, because I had tried that Granny Mac, which is a sativa, that just gets you vibrant, ready to go. You know what I mean? Not feeling all like everything I'm smoking right now is a hybrid that is it's a leaning dominant of indica. But let me know what y'all smoking. We're taking a little breather. I'm rolling up. We just pretty much got done with the we just got done with the Casanova topic. Casanova, man, facing quite a bit of time. He pled guilty, but his sentencing is not for another 8 months. That doesn't always help though, like we've seen. Like with Dark Low. Dark Low was out of jail for 7 months and he still had to go sit up for 7 years now, you guys. Dark Low is getting locked up for 7 years, y'all. So he literally had 5 more to serve. So we're going to find out what Casanova gets, but that's not going to be for another 8 months, y'all. December 6th is the actual sentencing for Casanova for everybody tuning in. But y'all can voice your opinions in the chat, how you feel about it. Y'all can vote in the poll right now if you haven't. How much time do you think Casanova is going to get? What do you think he's looking at? Because, they're saying it's going to be 5 to 60 years. So I've given 4 options: 40 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. It looks like 20 years is the majority vote with 29%. That's what a lot of people are thinking. They're thinking that he's going to get the full 20. But a lot of people are also saying, well, you got to look at the bright side. 20 years is better than taking it to trial and potentially facing 60. You know what I mean? Potentially getting the full 60. I was talking about Max B a little bit earlier. Max B went to jail and he ended up getting, what was it, 75 years that they had actually said. They had said 75 years back in 2009. With everything, he actually got it. He actually got it reduced, though, you guys. Max B will be out of jail in 2025, but still, it took so many years. In 2025, Max B will have been locked up for that's going to be 15 years, 16 years he will have done in jail. Max B will have been locked up for 16 years come 2025. That is double his prior incarceration. I think he did about 7 years before that. Let me see what everybody's smoking. Waffle cone. Okay, I've smoked pancakes. I've smoked cake mix. I've smoked sticky buns. So I've smoked red velvet. So I've smoked a lot of those cool ass strains that are like, like kind of like ice creamish strains. Thugs and Roses says I smoke indica because I have bad anxiety. That head high is not for me. So you like to smoke the joint that puts you down. I like them both, to be honest with you. I'm cool on either. Share this video, everybody. We're about to get back into the Hassan Campbell topic. We went over Casanova. But if y'all want me to say more about Casanova, you can just, put some questions in the chat if you need me to reiterate what I've already said if you're just tapping in. I know it's a live video, so we got people coming in all the time. Thinking about actually making like a thinking about making a thing where we could have like private chats and shit like that, but we'll see about shit like that in the future. If I make a Patreon or something like that, and we can have private chats, private discussions and shit like that, like a group of 20 of us or something. And if anybody were to want to sign up for something like that. private conversations. I'll bring in artists for interviews where we can actually all talk to them and shit. You know, that's the type of network that I'm about to set up. You heard that, Iceberg? That's the type of network I'm about to set up. So I want to know everybody who would want to subscribe to that network, y'all. That's what we're about to do. I'm gonna put the fan really there with the artist. What'd you say, bro? Oh, okay, I see you respond. Yo, 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 ES. What's going on, ES? I appreciate you for tapping in. Where you from, bro? We usually when we come in to the video for the first time, usually I'll say to everybody, let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Let me know what you're blazing on if you smoke, you know what I'm saying? And we really just get comfortable and get ready for a dope video. But let me know what city you're tapping in from, ES. I definitely appreciate you for tapping in, man. First time, I'm Mikey T, the movie star. Appreciate you for joining us, man. What up, Southpaw? Let me get this run slid up. You guys, excuse me. We're gonna get right back into the topics. South Central, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate South Central, Los Angeles, California in the building. Actually, we've been getting a lot of cats from Cali tapping in. Can't wait to make my way down to Cali. Everybody in here, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. We got Brooklyn in the building. What's popping with you, Aki? What's going, Aki? How you doing, G's? Brooklyn's in here heavy tonight. So we got South Central. We got South Central LA in here tonight. We got Brooklyn in here tonight. We got Baltimore in here. What up, official 410? The Low Kings, Brooklyn in the house. Okay. We got some people in here. But yeah, we're about to start up a network, you guys. We're about to start up a network, y'all. I'm about to be able to put y'all in tune with the dopest rappers. We're about to have the most lit live podcast. More on that coming. I appreciate you for subscribing, ES. I like to look at this as though I have the best interactive YouTube channel. So ES, when you come on here, be prepared to interact with myself, engage in the conversation with everyone else in the chat as well. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much we all build off one another in here and, interact on the topics. It ain't like the other YouTube channels where the guys are just talking back and forth on the other shit. Here, we actually educate one another, and we actually, sometimes there's things that people in the chat don't know that I tell them. That's pretty much the basic of it. But also, there's people in the chat that chime in with different insight, and that's where we go with it. Opalaka's in the building. What's popping? Christina Lou, major salute to Opalaka. Definitely got love for Opalaka. I remember being out there in Florida all the time. All the time. Phoenix is in the building tonight. Everybody go ahead and share this video. Share this video. Let them know Mikey T, the movie stars, in here showing love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We got Phoenix in the building. Southpaw, appreciate you tapping in from Phoenix, Arizona. Philly. The DMV, Sean Cagney. The DMV's in here. Alabama. I've been through Alabama. For sure. Right on the outskirts of Florida and shit, driving through when I made my way to South by Southwest, I would have to say. Upstate New York, what's good? Appreciate you for tapping into the live tonight, man. We got some content to read tonight, guys. We got some shit to talk about. We're about to get into our main event, actually. We're about to get into our main event, you guys. Hassan Campbell, obviously going in on Maino. Hassan Campbell exposes Maino, disses Wack 100, And man, what is going on with Thug? What is going on with Young Thug right now, you guys? Young Thug appeared before the judge. Young Thug had his lawyer there, you know what I mean? It wasn't a situation like we've been seeing play out when we've been going over the court videos of whose court videos did we go over, you guys? We went over the court videos of Straight Drop, and this guy literally goes before the judge 2 or 3 times and he doesn't have a lawyer. That's not the situation with Young Thug, you guys. That's not the situation with Young Thug. When Young Thug went before the judge, one of the lawyers that was representing Young Thug actually said, "We want to request bail. We want you to administer a bail." The judge or whoever it was that Young Thug was seeing at the time was saying that that was not in her hands. That was not something that she could do, and that she had to wait for the judge that was really looking into the case to actually handle that. So Young Thug is kind of in a position right now. Now, I seem to believe I read something where apparently he's not going to be going to court this coming Tuesday. I'm gonna have to check that out before I get on to you and report everything. In some situations, everybody knows this, but in some situations, when you have a lawyer, you don't need to go to court. Your lawyer will go to court for you on certain dates. And that could probably be a tactic that a good lawyer would use. You know, like, all right, you already made your first appearance. You're not going to make the next appearance. I'm going to go there for you. These guys like Young Thug, these guys like Kodak Black, they have some of the best lawyers. I mean, look what Kodak Black's lawyers did for him. They got in contact with the people that were in charge of the White House, running the White House, and they got Kodak Black, out of jail. They even ate all of Kodak Black's other charges. You don't want to mess with somebody like that who can get a presidential pardon. It's on Kodak Black, though, now, you guys. It's on Kodak Black to keep his nose clean right now, you guys. I mean, he's getting involved in a lot of shit, though. You know what I mean? He actually got involved in that situation at McDonald's. A whole bunch of different shit he's getting himself into. But what can you expect? I mean, when Chief Keef blew up, look what he did. He got pulled over going 100 and however fast he was going. I don't think it was 160 miles an hour. Like, Jesus. Was it 160 miles an hour, you guys? And the cop was like, "Do you understand what you're doing?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know how fast you were going?" He's like, "That's why I bought the car." You know what I mean? Yep. Yep. Thugs and Roses. The DA is holding Young Thug's past lyrics against him. He won't get bail, unfortunately. We're going to have to wait and hear about that, Thugs and Roses. There are some things that we just don't know about right now. You know what I mean? There's some things that we don't know about as far as what Young Thug's criminal history is, as far as his most recent criminal history. I can't say I really know any of that. I don't really know what his recent criminal history is. Casanova's case is a lot different. Casanova is a multiple time felon, as Tony Yeo explained, a predicate felon. You know what I'm saying? Casanova's situation is a lot different, I think, than Young Thug's. Young Thug's situation is a lot different than Pooh Shiesty's situation. It's a lot different than the situation that Rollo was going through. Rollo even got caught going through everything twice. They didn't arrest Rollo when they first got the jet in December. They arrested Rollo when they got the second jet in April. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. They arrested him when they got the second jet in April. So they wait on things. Bobby Shmurda. What's the other case? Young Thug. They looked at him from 2012 all the way up through that incident in 2015 with Young Thugs, with Lil Wayne's tour bus. You know what I'm saying? And they kept it going. Maybe they didn't feel like they had enough. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth with that tomorrow afternoon, though, you guys, or tomorrow night, whenever we decide to go live tomorrow. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth with that. This Young Thug indictment is pretty crazy. Gunna actually turned himself in today. Gunna turned himself in. Like I said last night, I probably would have booked my hotel room. Or I would have had my assistant. That's hard to say because now it's like, okay, you just got your assistant a charge. You know what I mean? Like, it's serious games. It's serious shit. You know what I mean? It's nothing that you really want to joke around with. You know what I mean? That's why Gunna at this point has already turned himself in. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Go ahead, share this video if you're just tapping in. You know what I'm saying? We got some major shit to cover. We were just really getting started with Casanova. We're touching on Young Thug a bit. You know what I mean? Thug went before a judge, apparently not his official judge. Oddly as that sounds, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, let's say it's like kind of like going to the doctor. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor and then you get like a nurse that comes in and sees you, and she's like, all right, just take off all your clothes. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, da, 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 da. And then she's like, all right, now this other person's gonna come in. It's like, whoa, what is going on in here? This ain't the show. I'm not the attraction for y'all tonight. What is going on here? You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like you got to see one person and then you got to see another person. Like, why isn't Young Thug just seeing the person that is going to be, you know what I mean, flowing with his case? Big facts. What's popping with you, man? Yep, that's right. Look at what is that Dot? Sorry, bro. Dot Low King says state case for now. And you know what, Dot Low, man? You saying that, bro? Oh yeah, yes, that's the answer to your question. Yeah, it's a state case for now. And you saying that, bro? Sometimes in cases, we've seen a case come to the end, and then the feds pick it right at the end of that case. I'm seriously hoping this doesn't happen to Young Thug. I'm seriously hoping this doesn't happen to Young Thug, you guys, because the feds could possibly be watching this case. They could be like, all right, we're going to watch the state play this thing out. We're going to see how the state plays this thing out. But if they don't do it to our liking, we've got this, that, and that in the cut, and we're coming right afterwards, and we're going to get our trial. So I don't know what Young Thug has waiting for him, you guys, but this just seems like it's going to be a really trying time of his career. Now, let's be real. Young Thug was at a point in time where nobody gave a damn about him. Young Thug probably remembers that point in time like it's yesterday, when nobody watched the videos, when nobody cared about his antics, because at that point he probably didn't really have the antics, when he first got started. Young Thug remembers that shit when nobody cared about him, you guys. Same shit that I was talking about with Dark Low. You know what I mean? Dark Low at one point in his career had no fan mail, went back to jail, had a career, had all types of fan mail. Yeah, Aki, that's what I'm thinking, bro. There's a major potential of the feds picking up this case if, Aki, I'm thinking if the state doesn't handle it appropriately. But let's be realistic. There's 28 people mentioned in the Young Thug and Gunna indictment. You know what I mean? There's people that are famous, there's people that are on the verge of being famous, and there's people that we don't really know that are involved. There's going to be a lot of people that end up taking charges, or they've already ended up taking the charges. They're going to end up taking the charges, yeah, because right now they haven't been convicted. So there's going to be an overwhelming amount that take charges, and an overwhelming amount that get heavy sentences. You know what I mean? Young Thug facing two, Gunna facing two. We'll have to see what happens, man. This is really just getting started. This whole thing is really just getting started with Young Thug. And like I said, it could potentially not be over for a number of years. He could potentially have to be not only a state case, but he also could have to be a federal case. Let me see. Let me see what we got here for everybody just tuning in. For everybody just tuning in, so you all know Casanova's sentencing. Casanova's sentencing will actually be on December 6th. So we have quite a lengthy period of time before that. Casanova copped out in the situation. Um, he's getting an offer that he doesn't want to give up the chance, to get between 5 and 60 years, as crazy as that sounds. He gets the possibility of getting a very low sentence. Him pleading out, the fact that he's pleading out, they say helps him drastically. You know what I mean? When Dark Low decided to do what he did, we all thought that it was going to help him drastically as well. The fact of the matter is, he was still facing up to 9 years in jail based off of that letter. He was still facing like 10 years in jail, and he got 7. You know what I mean? That was at the high end of the spectrum of what we would have thought. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, Sean. Like I said, we all thought similar to Dark Low when he came home. We thought that, he was home free, maybe a year or two more, but they ended up putting him away for 7 years. Casanova is a multiple time felon. So when a judge is looking at this, when he goes up for sentencing on December 6th, all of that is going to be taken into consideration. Casanova knows, just like Dark Low knew, you know what I mean? Just because you enter in this plea, it does not mean anything. It does not mean anything. You're just getting a guideline of what you can get between this and that amount of time. You're not getting any type of promises. We've heard situations like this play out over and over. We've talked about it all multiple times, you guys. Had one dude, you know what I mean? One detective was telling this dude that he was going to get 10 years for all the charges that he had. I think y'all might remember who I'm talking about. Not going to go ahead and say the names. Um, so they're pretty much saying that Casanova was using his, the fact that he was famous. He was using the fact that he was famous to actually help the street groups. They alleged that this music video that he had done that had like 1.2 million views. They alleged that that video was really helping things out. If you look at Casanova's videos on the internet, you guys, he does more than a million views. A million views isn't really doing nothing for nobody, in all honesty. You know what I mean? If you really have a viral hit, that shit's going to do like 10 million views. Um, Let me see. So yeah, I'm hoping the best for Casanova. I know y'all are too. Personally, I'm hoping for between 5 and 10 years, since he ultimately, what up, Nightman? He says he might get between 15 to 20 years. Some people are saying that he's going to get 20. You know what I mean? They're saying it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to get 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But, they can give him up to 60 years in jail. You know what I'm saying? They can give him up to 60 years in jail at this point in time. And from what I've seen in other cases, you know what I mean, I really don't expect them to be doing things on the lenient side. From looking at Casanova's record, you know, Casanova has already been arrested and incarcerated. He's already faced multiple different things in his life. So all of that is going to play a major factor into what happens when he goes before that judge in 6 months. I'm not really sure what can change in 6 months. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? It could get pretty serious. You know what I mean? But like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see how this one plays out before he goes in front of the judge in 8 months, you guys. It's like I said, it's basically the same time frame that Dark Low got, you know? It's basically the same time frame that Dark Low got in that whole situation. Dark Low was out on house arrest though. The only difference is Casanova is going to be sitting behind bars. I want everybody to check out the interview with Kid Kid. I'm going to pin it up in the chat right now. I want everybody to check out my interview with Kid Kid. We spoke on all types of shit, man. We spoke on 50 Cent actually trying to buy his song with Lil Wayne. If you guys could believe that, you know what I mean? Kid Kid had a record that he got Birdman to clear. Birdman cleared the song and 50 Cent tried to buy it from Kid Kid. If you want to see what Kid Kid did, go check out that interview right there. But we got to talk about Hassan Campbell now. We got to talk about Maino, and we got to talk about Wack 100, you guys, because Hassan Hassan went in on these two. Maino and Wack 100 have a pretty storied beef, you guys. They have a pretty storied beef, y'all. Their beef actually involves a friend of Maino's, who is actually a friend of Wax, who is actually an artist signed to 50 Cent. I don't know what Wack 100 is doing. Well, it's more so on Uncle Murda. I don't know what Uncle Murda is doing fraternizing with the game's manager. 50 Cent's number one enemy in the game, you all. I kind of feel like that is a violation. Young Buck got kicked out of the group for that shit. Well, reality, Young Buck was saying FG Unit at every single show that he could. The game got kicked out of G Unit for that shit. He said he wanted to work with Nas and, Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Man wanted to make 50 Cent. He wanted to make 50 Cent a bunch of millions of dollars, and 50 kicked him out of the group. Go figure. Go figure. This guy wanted to make 50 Cent money, so in return, 50 Cent kicked him out of the group. Go figure. Let me put up a poll. I got a new poll for you guys. I want to know your thoughts on 50 kicking these guys out of the group. I want to know which one was 50 wrong for kicking out of the group. All right, I'm putting the poll up right now, you guys. Which G Unit member was 50 Cent wrong for kicking out? Which member of G Unit was 50 Cent wrong for kicking out? Was it the game? Was it Young Buck? Was it Sha Money XL? Or was it Hot Rod? Nightman says anything in the feds under 5 years they telling? Well, Nightman, excuse me for butchering your name 8 times in a row. They're offering Casanova 5 years minimum. That is the minimum max. So he can't get 2.5 years. He can't get 4 years. The minimum that he can get is 5 years. That is the minimum time that he can get. Everybody vote in the poll right now. Let me know what you guys think. Which member of G Unit was 50 Cent wrong for kicking out? Was it the game? Was it when 50 Cent kicked it? We're going to get into the story real quick, guys. Just, what we do on the channel, man. We have fun on the channel, man. We do polls. If you're watching this, if you're actually not watching this live with us and you're watching on demand, just put it in the chat, your thought. Put your thoughts in the chat. I'll probably even respond to them, y'all. Which member of G Unit was 50 Cent wrong for kicking out? Was it the game, who 50 Cent literally kicked out because he wanted to work with Nas and Fat Joe and Jadakiss? He didn't say he wanted to work with Ja Rule. You know what I mean? He didn't say that he wanted to work with Ja Rule, you guys. He said he wanted to work with these other guys and he could have made major money with them. Was it Young Buck? Was it Young Buck who 50 kicked out of the group once Buck started pretty much saying screw G Unit every single show he could say it at? And Young Buck ditched out on the tour that G Unit was doing overseas. And he also ditched out on recording the last songs on Terminate on Sight. So 50 Cent dismissed him from the group. Or was it Sha Money XL? A man who I'm not even sure 50 Cent ever saw eye to eye with. After the early conversation was released that 50 told Sha, he's like, listen, man, I'm going to give you a point on Get Rich or Die Trying. Sha, I'm going to give you a point on my album. Or you can take $30,000. Sha Money took $30,000. I'll take the $30,000, Fifth. You just took $30,000 over a point, over a credit on an album that went on to sell nearly 15 million copies. Come on, Sha. How much longer did you really think you were going to be the president of G Unit for making decisions like that? And then, actually, I don't even want to get into who he signed when he went over to Epic Records. Good golly. Some of those signings, Sha. Some of those signings, man. Good golly. Salute to Sha Money, though. Never too late to mend a fence. And I'm cool with moving past anything we got going on, Sha. Now, or was it Hot Rod, y'all? Was 50 Cent wrong for giving Hot Rod the boot? All because Hot Rod didn't know the lyrics to Wanksta. I mean, come on, Hot Rod. Not knowing the lyrics to Wanksta, but you know the lyrics to your song with Tila Tequila? Jesus, that's disappointing. That is disappointing, 100%, that you don't know the lyrics to Wanksta. But 50 himself said that Hot Rod was like the good guy version of him. The version of him that was never in the streets. The version of him that never had to go to shock camp. You know what I mean? So why are you going to get on the man when he doesn't know the lyrics to your gangster anthem that got you onto the scene, Wanksta? You know what I mean? He probably didn't know Rowdy Rowdy either. Probably didn't know your life's on the line either. But come on, man. He's your, Detail says, I barely remember Hot Rod. You are hilarious. You are hilarious, bro. You barely remember Hot Rod. Well, they gave Hot Rod the song with Mary J. Blige, bro. They actually gave Hot Rod the song with Mary J. Blige. They gave him a real opportunity. You know what I mean? They gave him a real opportunity. Now, Kid was brought into the group Kid was brought into the group a few years later. If you guys want to go check out my conversation with Kid, you can hit the link that's pinned up right now. Yeah, so if anybody comments on that as well, whoever comments on my interview with Kid, I'm gonna subscribe to your YouTube channel as well. So if anybody wants me to subscribe to their YouTube, I will, as long as you comment on that. Yep, word, one hit, Mary, take it easy. Gotta be easy. Yeah, it was called Be Easy. I just don't think they put enough into the music video, to be honest with you. I know we're not really talking about, I don't think we'll ever talk about that, to be honest with you. So maybe now is good a time as any. But I don't think they really put enough effort into that music video. I mean, you got Mary J. Blige and you're filming on a green screen, okay, then do the hook with Mary J. Blige and Hot Rod in the car, do the hook in the car and then do it in front of the green screen or whatever, and then move on from there and film Hot Rod shit outside and actually put a budget behind the video. You don't need to film the whole thing in the green screen real quick. Like, that really made no sense when you got Mary J. Blige coming to work with you for a few hours and you do it like that. It's kind of like, Iceberg is sounding off. Well, Iceberg says, what the F? Hot Rod has got to go. Wanksta was mad easy to remember. Iceberg is sounding off, you guys. Jesus. Iceberg is sounding off. He doesn't want to hear it. He does not want to hear it. He's pretty much like, yo, if you can't remember Wanksta, you don't deserve to be. If you can't remember Wanksta, you pretty much are a Wanksta, is what Iceberg is saying. There's no other way to put it. But let's get into this. Y'all can still vote in the poll. Let me put a little message up. Y'all can still vote in the poll. Voting in the poll is a thing right now. I'm going to get back into the news, though. Hassan Campbell and Wack 100. Hassan Campbell basically dissed Wack 100 again, called him out over K Slay, and he basically went in on Maino. A couple people have been saying some things all over Clubhouse, I guess you could say. Guess it's the Clubhouse bandits back at it, you know what I mean? But Hassan was like, you can tell that Wack has more respect for me than what he say and do. When he had beef with Maino, so he brings up the beef with Maino. When he had beef with Maino, he went to Brooklyn with Uncle Murda and sat outside in the projects and waited for Maino. So wow, that's saying a lot. We got Hassan Campbell here pretty much saying that Wack 100 was there in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He was there in Brooklyn. He was in the projects, sitting in the projects with Uncle Murda, of course. Close friend of Maino. He went to Brooklyn with Uncle Murda and sat outside in the projects and waited for Maino. Called Maino out. You ain't see him go to the Bronx. That's what Hassan said. You ain't see him go to the Bronx. Scratch that. You didn't see Wack go to K Slay's funeral. You know why he didn't go to K Slay's funeral? He knew he burnt some bridges with me. Hassan went on. He said, all that other stuff that happened with Snow Billy. Hassan saying, all that other stuff that happened with Snow Billy, it happened afterwards. Everybody vote in the poll right now. I'm about to read off what we got for results in the poll. Which member of G Unit was 50 Cent wrong for kicking out? Right now, it looks like the game is leading with 38%. Young Buck is following it with 34%. And Shaw Money XL with 21%, you guys. 7% for Hot Rod. Nobody seems to give a damn that 50 Cent kicked Hot Rod out of the group. That's pretty crazy to me. What's going on with you? Baltimore is in the building. Major salute to B More. Got a couple different people from B More. Everybody vote in that poll right now. If you haven't, who's the worst or who's the member of G Unit that you think 50 just screwed up? You think 50 just screwed up for actually, kicking out of G Unit? You know, did he really kick out DJ Who Kid? Is that why Who Kid went and started working with Waka Flocka and shit like that? Is that what you're talking about? 1017? I didn't remember he kicked out Who Kid. I should have put Trav up there. You know what I mean? There's a couple different people you really could put up. When he fired Shah Money, though, that was a pretty big thing because when he fired Shah Money, Shah was actually managing the other guys. He was managing Banks. He was managing Buck. And they were pretty comfortable with that. You know what I mean? They're like, Shah handles X, Y, and Z. But as I said a few days ago on stream, Young Buck, Lloyd Banks were the most popular rappers in the game at that point. They legitimately were. They were selling a bunch of records. They could have had anybody managing them. The fact that they didn't go to other management firms, PR firms, and get management, it says a lot about them. You know what I mean? It says a lot about them. They expected everything to be done for them. Like, I'm not trying to take a shot. I love those guys as artists. You know what I mean? I love those guys. I bought their albums. All three of them, both of them. All the mixtapes. Not all of Banks' mixtapes. There's just too many damn mixtapes. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be real. You know what I mean? But I bought all of Banks' albums. You know what I'm saying? But dudes don't even care about that. Dudes don't even care about that. They'll go and sit with people that haven't even purchased the album, that don't even know shit about the album. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. I don't really, I'm not really up all night about that shit. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, Roddy. Appreciate you for tapping in, Roddy. He said, peace, Mikey T. Sitting here smoking some birthday cake. Showing my love to you, brother. I definitely appreciate you for tapping in. You know what I mean? Yup. Boom, right there. Nightman says, dudes talk too much. If I was Maino, I would not come either. I would have looked at my Brooklyn dudes like traitors because if it was LA, you ain't leaving. RIP to Biggie. Yeah, I was really looking at this situation a little bit sideways too, Nightman. Like, how the hell is Maino's man gonna be out there with Wack 100, knowing like that his more tight of his homie is having issues with Maino? You know what I mean? I just didn't really understand that. Now, obviously, Maino and Uncle Murda have gone separate ways. You know what I mean? Obviously, they've gone in separate directions. You know what I'm saying? They obviously have different things on their plate right now. You know what I'm saying? What was their what was it called? What was their tape called? Was it called the Yellow Tape? Yeah, it was King Kong and Godzilla. The Yellow Tape, King Kong and Godzilla. And now you've got, now you've got the Lobby Boys. Mano has transitioned to a certain extent. Let's put up a poll. I want to know who y'all are messing with because it looks like the game and Young won this, followed by Young Buck. I want to know who y'all are messing with better. I want to know who y'all got. I'm putting the poll up, you guys. Hold on. There we go. All right, y'all. The poll is up. Yep, yellow tape. Yellow tape. King Kong and Godzilla. I want to know, who do y'all like better? Was it Jim Jones and Maino, the Lobby Boys? Or is it Maino and Uncle Murda, King Kong and Godzilla? Who y'all messing with? Who y'all jacking more in that? Who y'all jacking more when it comes to those two duos? I want to know what everybody thinks in the chat right now. Damn, I did a poll on my channel and it looks like 48% of the poll thinks that Casanova is looking at 10 years. So that's dope. We got some good positive perspective from my channel. That's lit. Everybody on here, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. If you're not, subscribe right now. Subscribe right now if you're not subscribed, y'all. Don't ever miss a live video. All right, so now that I got that chat up, we're going to go ahead and get back to the news. All right, cool. It looks like, wow, it looks like King Kong and Godzilla are in the lead right now with 54%. Yeah, CEO, 10 years when you're looking at 60. Vote in the poll, everybody. Right now, Maino and Uncle Murda, King Kong and Godzilla are leading the poll 53%. Jim Jones and Maino, the Lobby Boys, 47%. Very interesting right there, you guys. Like I said before, when Uncle Murda was working with Maino, they actually got the attention of Birdman. And it looked like they were going to do a deal, but they just didn't end up signing to him. So let me see. Hassan went on. He said, all that other stuff that happened with Snow Billy, it happened afterwards. He didn't go to K-Slay's funeral because he didn't want to run into me in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Harlem. He didn't know who was lurking in the clubhouse after he played himself when he got on that Clubhouse app. Everybody vote in the poll right now. We're finishing up this news. We're reading off this news, but make sure you vote in the poll. If you can't vote in the poll, all you have to do is literally refresh the page to see the poll, I guess. But right now, the King Kong and Godzilla tape is actually leading. Nightman says, Lobby Boys are okay. What's everybody thinking in the chat, man? I don't know about the song, but def not Jim Jones. I vote the Godzilla and King Kong. That was CEO who said that. All right, anyways, let me get back into this. So Hassan actually brought up the message with Maino, you guys. he brought up the message that Maino had for the general public, but mostly for the bloggers, I guess you could say. Maino had said that anybody that knows me, please don't call my phone if it ain't about business, money, potential business. If it isn't about something conducive to me and you, I don't want to hear about what somebody said on YouTube. If it ain't about some business, bottom line, period, I don't want to hear it. I don't give a F what nobody is talking about. I don't want to hear about nothing negative. Don't call my phone talking about what nobody said. The truth is, the people talking don't want to run into me anyways. And that line right there, that last line, is something that Hassan directly responded to, you guys. The people talking don't want to run into me anyways. I mean, Maino says it, you pretty much just believe it. Now, let's hear Hassan's response, though. Hassan said, y'all heard Maino out of his mouth. He said, the people that are talking don't want to run into him anyways. Hassan said, I mean, if a person don't put an address on it, I don't take it personal. But I do know Wack 100 went to Brooklyn and sat outside and challenged Maino. Maino never showed up. Was that like Suge Knight-esque? The way I lit up the blunt right there and blew out the smoke? I'm watching it right now. It definitely was. Hell yeah. That's what I'm giving y'all. I'm giving y'all that real shit, man. Let me see. Hassan Campbell said, y'all heard Maino out of his own mouth. He said the people that are talking don't want to run into him anyways. I mean, if a person don't put an address on it, I don't take it personal. But I do know Wack 100 went to Brooklyn and sat outside and challenged Maino. Maino never showed up. Hassan went on. But when it was time for Wack 100 to shake and bake with Hassan Campbell, he never showed up. I don't really want to let you know it is what it is, but it is what it is. That was so funny when he said that. I was like, I don't want to let you know it is what it is, but it is what it is. I don't care which one of you rappers it is. And I'm talking about the dudes that's in the industry on the internet, not you dudes in the regular streets. He's not talking about you dudes in the regular streets. He's talking about you dudes in the industry on the internet, not you dudes in the regular streets. Maino is not on the internet. Jim Jones, he's not on the internet. That sentence right there, that seemed to be geared specifically for one Wack 100. Now that specific part, I'm wondering, I'm kind of wondering in my mind. Actually, no, I'm not wondering that. Not wondering that whatsoever. But it is what it is. That sentence was obviously geared towards Wack 100. And I think you could all pretty much hear it the way that I reset it, not rephrased it, the way that I reset it. You're talking to the dudes that's in the industry on the internet. Wack 100 is on the internet. Maino, Jim Jones, These guys aren't on the internet like that. These guys do their work, and then that work shows up on the internet. That's a different thing. Who are you going to see tomorrow night, man? Oh, okay. Boom, what up? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. I'm not sure about that, Iceberg. Um, I'm not sure about the YouTube streets. I'm not too sure about the YouTube streets. I've I mean, I'm just not too sure about it. I'm not really sure if it exists. I think it might be a part of the Illuminati or something like that. I'm not too sure. Not like the real Illuminati. It's like the guys who are outside of the party while the Illuminati are inside. You know what I mean? That's where like the street YouTubers are. They're like outside of the Illuminati party trying to get in. Just my thought. If we're really digging deep on that, which I never do. I never really dig into that type of shit, to be honest with you guys. Trife gangsta. Well, tell Trife I said what up, man. Well, tell Trife I said what up. And tell him to come on the channel. Yeah, tell Trife to definitely come on the channel if you get the chance to. I'd love to have him over on the channel for a discussion, for an interview. Why do I have Death Row and not Def Jam? Have you ever seen a Def Jam poster, bro? Are you wilding out right now? You know how much my room would look out like I was in the early 1990s or you know what I'm saying, like the 1980s if I had a Def Jam poster, bro? Are you wilding out over there or something, bro? Dude's dude's out of his mind. Why don't you have a Def Jam poster? Are you crazy, man? What do you want me to be wearing? Some neon pumps too? I'm gonna wear some wristbands too, bro. Let's be realistic. What up, Detail? Appreciate you for tapping in. Oh, Nightman, I definitely appreciate that, bro. I definitely appreciate that, man. If you could set something up with Trife, that'd be amazing. I don't know if you follow me. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but that's a way you can reach out to me and let me know if it's possible. Detail, hilarious, man. Hilarious. Appreciate you. I just said that to get everybody laughing real quick. Dude's like, yo, you need a Def Jam poster. What the hell is wrong with you? A Def Jam poster. I mean, Def Jam had some amazing acts. I mean, if you think about it, they actually housed Disturbing the Peace for Ludacris. You know what I mean? Jay signed some great acts, Fab and Jadakiss. You know what I mean? Shit, even Petey Crack was over there. You know what I mean? He never got to release that album, The Prince of the Rock, though, which was shitty. But anyways, let's get into it because Hassan Campbell responded to Maino's message. So Hassan was like, but when it was time for Wack 100 to shake and bake with Hassan Campbell, he never showed up. See, he talked and he tried to manipulate y'all into thinking he was about that life when he sat down with me in 6ix9ine. But when you watch the footage and seen it was hugs and kisses in that room until he got the clubhouse and then he started talking tough. Yeah, if you watch the interview, you pretty much see what it was between them. Whack 100, he could say what he wants about it, but he didn't do the worst case scenario. He didn't do the worst case outcome at that interview. And then even further, he had the host of that interview, Academics, come on his show and say that he was inaccurate when he said his energy was a certain way. So now we've got Hassan, we've got Academics denying it. The only one that won't deny it will probably be 6ix9ine. We'll have to wait and see though if 6ix9ine and Hassan Campbell actually connect again, because if you remember, 6ix9ine is the one who linked the two of these guys together. Hassan Campbell was linked with Academics because 6ix9ine told Ack, "Yo, this is the new king of YouTubers. This is the king of the bloggers doing this thing." Da 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 da. So Hassan goes on. He said, he didn't show up. I'm going to say this right. Listen, I don't want no beef or no static with nobody. He said, I don't want no beef or no static with nobody. I don't really want to let you know it is what it is, but it is what it is. I don't care which one of you rappers it is. And I'm talking about the dudes that's in the industry and the internet, not the dudes in the regular street. And like I said, guys like Maino and Jim Jones are not on the street. This message seemed to be directed towards Wack 100, you know? Um, so I'm asking myself, like, why did he go to Brooklyn in the first place to see Maino? You know? And I'm wondering if Maino's thinking, did anybody tell Maino that he was coming to Brooklyn to see him? You know what I mean? But then the fact of the matter is, Wack 100 was sitting there with Uncle Murda, a guy who was directly associated with Maino, or was, you know what I mean? Or was a few years back, you know what I mean? Uh, what was the release date? Yeah, he was a few years back. I mean, that Godzilla King Kong tape came out in 2016. Maino's obviously moved on to other things. Uncle Murda has obviously moved on to other things. You know what I'm saying? The G Unit deal, the Lobby Boys, they're both on to doing their own things and shit like that. Yeah, hell yeah, detail. It ain't nothing against Def Jam, man. I would love to do some. Snoop Dogg actually works with Def Jam too. You know what I mean? I got to get that. I got to get the Def Jam poster right here up on the sidewall. You know what I mean? That would be sweet, actually. Thank you for that suggestion, man. Yeah, because Snoop Dogg is actually rocking with Def Jam. You know what I mean? He actually brought Benny the Butcher over to Def Jam. That's another artist I would love to have on the channel to have a discussion about his upcoming album. Tana Talk 4 moved 19,500 units first week. I think that's really admirable considering that was from his street catalog, you know what I mean, that he had made before getting famous. You know what I mean? And now the fact that he's catching fame and he's taken that catalog and he's actually introducing that street catalog to the mainstream fans while he's preparing his mainstream debut. And that was probably J. Cole's idea. You know what I mean? That was probably J. Cole's idea to jump on Tana Talk 4. You know what I mean? That was probably J. Cole's idea. When you link up with J. Cole, you're gonna rock with what he wants to do. J. Cole is just of that status. Look what happened. I don't know if you guys remember. Look what happened when J. Cole linked up with Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo presented J. Cole a all different record. He presented him. He's like, "Yo, this is the type of record that I think that you would like." And J. Cole was like, "Nah, I actually like that one you just played." J. Cole wanted to jump into Moneybagg Yo's world, you guys. You know what I mean? J. Cole wanted to go and do what he does, but in his world. That's the way that it works the best. You know what I'm saying? So when J. Cole went to work with Benny the Butcher, I could just see him wanting to get into that Tana Talk vibe, what Benny is best known for, rather than being a part of Benny's more commercial release. Hopefully we get, Benny working with somebody like you know what I mean? Who do you guys think Benny should work with on on his album with Def Jam? You know what I mean? He needs like a major single with, like, you know what I mean? With, like, I would say Tory Lanez, but Tory Lanez is going through the worst right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if Tory Lanez is the way to go right now. You know what I'm saying? Just because French Montana did a song with Tory Lanez. You know what I mean? I had actually could have sworn I hit French up about doing a song with Tory Lanez. I was like, yo, French, you got to do a song with Tory Lanez. They ended up doing a song together. But that didn't really do all that much for French. You know what I mean? That didn't really do all that much for French. The song kind of came and went. Tory Lanez got into a bunch of shit. Tory Lanez actually got really popular for a moment though, too. Tory Lanez got extremely popular and then he lost it. Drake. Oh yeah, that's right. Boom. He does have the Drake record. They're saying he has a Drake record in the cut, which is pretty dope. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Nightman. I hear what you're saying. Okay, so they're with Uncle Murda, right? Wack is with Uncle Murda. Uncle Murda is the neutral party in this situation, but it's not just Uncle Murda. But there's 7 other people apparently there at this location with Wack 100. There's multiple people there at this location with Wack 100 while he's with Uncle Murda. So it's a whole different situation. As I said earlier, we're not getting the China Mac AD situation here. We're getting a situation where if Maino pulls up, you know what I mean? Maino is going to be bombarded like he's on that movie, The Outsiders. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be bombarded by a bunch of people. And if Maino brings 7 or 8 people, then it's going to be even worse. So now we just don't even have the best terms of meeting. What's the point of even having the neutral party there if you're going to bring 7 or 8 different people who are not going to even care about the neutral party? The 7 or 8 people are going to outweigh the neutral party by a whole lot. The neutral party is going to get removed from the situation immediately. You don't got to be, you don't have to have a crystal ball to figure that one out. You know what I'm saying? Um, someone like said this. Someone said this to Hassan: "You are beefing like the rappers. The bloggers are beefing like the rappers." Somebody brought this to Hassan Campbell. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, we see these other guys doing their thing. You know what I mean? Queen's Flip has quite an active presence on social media, going at it with all the rappers. I mean, we've seen him actually go at it with, Beanie Siegel. We've seen him go at it and actually get physical inside of like the Atlantic Records offices and shit like that. We've seen Queen's Flip do quite a bit of things, you know what I mean, that are outrageous. You know what I mean? We've seen other bloggers do things as well. I mean, I've had some different situations as well. So I could see why like from the beginning, from the beginning of my career, rest in peace, Maserati Fox. Maserati Fox had a dislike for me when I interviewed Bangum Smurf and Domination. You know what I mean? It was just that easily. Just doing an interview with somebody that a rapper disliked, a rapper tried to take it out on me. He's like, yo, and that white boy, he's like, I don't like that white boy either. You know what? Shit. How am I going to look at it back then? You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, what I'm doing is moving these dudes. You know what I mean? These guys are actually seeing what I'm doing out here. That's awesome. That's how you kind of look at it sometimes when people diss you. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit, these guys are actually, you know what I mean? I'm moving them. You know what I mean? They're looking at my material. So yeah, sometimes you see that, man. That's why a lot of you, when you're doing great, a lot of your hate pops up, man. When you're doing great, expect some hate. But yeah, I like that, man. Boom. Drake and Benny the Butcher on the Def Jam album. Def Jam better clear that record. I'm sure they will, though. So Hassan responded to this, though. Hassan said, when you wake up every day in your regular life and you got people driving by your house, and you got people driving by your house, you got people inboxing you or texting you, you know what I mean? All the internet, and I'm just letting you know, I'm not a sucker. All you dudes talking about he ain't outside, I showed you I was outside, even though I'd rather spend my days inside my house. Yeah, shit. Hassan is in the New York area. So I would imagine you would want to go outside and enjoy being out there in New York. You know what I mean? Going outside and being able to go to the different stores, going outside and be able to buy some of the things you never really were able to buy when you were younger at your discretion, just easily. You know what I mean? If you wanted something, you could just go get it, enjoy your day, go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? But when you got people messaging you, people literally driving by your crib and shit like that, people saying all types of shit now, everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? It's like you're walking around wearing a shirt saying, "What's your opinion?" When people notice you, sometimes they're just going to come up to you and say certain things. It's not going to be everybody running up to you to take a picture. You know, and it's not going to be everybody running up to you saying your special catchphrase. You know what I mean? It's not going to be all peaches and cream. You know what I mean? Uh, but Hassan Campbell is actually admitting to that by saying that people are hitting his inbox and texting him and even, you know what I mean? Like driving by the house and shit like that. He's admitting to all that, man. He has an issue with that. That's how he responded to that the bloggers are beefing like the rappers. Hey, if somebody has something they need to get off their chest, why shouldn't they get it off their chest? If you got something to get it off your chest, you need to use your outlet to do so. These podcasts are sort of like rappers making albums. A lot of these rappers can make an album in one night. Well, I can do a podcast in one night too. And we'll start naming it, track 1, track 2. We're on to track 3 now. That's what I'm going to start naming my topics, my tracks, my track list for the night. This is my track list. Because I kind of feel like I'm a rapper. I feel like I'm an actor. I feel like I'm an artist. Every blog, it's like your next blog, you know what I mean? You're known for your last blog. You know what I'm saying? Your last hit is you know what I mean? You're always looked at for your last hit. So I'm saying that to say to y'all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure y'all subscribe. You don't want to miss me going live. I go live every night at 10:30 p.m. We go over the hip hop news. If you want to get a more of a personal interaction with me, you can follow me on Instagram, Mikey T. I am gonna open up a special Patreon page of some sort where we can all have specific conversations. You know what I'm saying? We can do specific interactions. You know what I mean? Probably going to set it up. I'm not sure what we're going to do, man. Maybe something like $20 a month or $25 a month or something like that. And I want to host different chats in there where we'll actually bring rappers in. So like 15 or 20 of us, whoever signs up, we can all have interaction with the rappers. We can all have interaction with the writers and everything. I'm going to get that shit set up in the very near future, you guys. We're about to set up a whole new thing, you guys, because I know there's a lot of shows I be watching. It's like ad-free shows. They all got that shit set up. It's pretty dope. Night, man, I highly doubt it, man, because you know what I'm saying? A lot of these rappers, everybody follow me on the gram, you guys. Check out my interview with Kid Kid as well. The interview with Kid Kid is pinned. Whoever drops a comment on the interview with Kid Kid, I will follow you back on YouTube. Whoever drops a comment, I will subscribe to you guys back on YouTube. You heard what I'm saying? Whoever drops a comment, I will subscribe to you back on YouTube. I want to bring it to some open questions. Like my dude Nightman is saying, "What's up with little baby?" I don't think going after all these artists that are obviously making legitimate money is going to get them anywhere. They've obviously been watching Thug since 2012. You know what I mean? They've been watching Thug since 2012. They were watching Bobby Shmurda since early on. But Casanova, they were watching Casanova since 2004. Like, bro, that's 20 plus years that they were watching Casanova. You know what I'm saying? What is that? 18 years. You know what I'm saying? That was 18. That was 16 years technically because they arrested him in 2020. They arrested the man in 2020 after watching him since 2004. They watched Young Thug since 2012. They watched Young Thug since 2012, and he had a bunch of crazy incidents, like that one incident where they were all beefing with Lil Wayne. He had a bunch of crazy incidents, and they actually just busted him in 2022. So they were legitimately watching Young Thug for 10 years, right before he really started getting all the money, you guys. Because back in 2012, life was really different for Young Thug. You know what I mean? Young Thug's life went from starting from the bottom to the top. You know what I mean? He really surged in the industry in a small period of time. Uh, I think mostly because of the fact that he built a cult following. Because the industry wasn't all that accepting to him at first. Like even his albums that he released, if you look up the albums, he only sold a certain amount of records. He only sold a certain amount of records, like 25 to 30,000 for the first two or three, four albums. I'm not even sure what the sales are at now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really disappointed reading all of Young Thug's sales. At one point, I do remember Young Thug was going to do a mixtape with the Migos. And at that point in time, it was thought that Young Thug was going to be much bigger than the Migos. So, one of Young Thug's executives, I'm not really too sure who. There's been rumblings and rumors of who it actually was, but one of Young Thug's executives pulled the mixtape. Fast forward 6 months, a year, whatever amount of time you need to fast forward, Migos have released the Culture album and become the biggest rap sensations, whereas Young Thug still had not had a hit single. Young Thug still had not had a hit album. Young Thug just has a bunch of independently pushed albums that do pretty good. Now the Migos took off. You know what I'm saying? The Migos took off and they ran with it, you guys. So I think that was a massive mistake. I thought that was a massive mistake on Young Thug's team's part. But it still doesn't disqualify the fact that Young Thug made a career for himself. He made millions of legit dollars. I don't think they're contesting the money that he made on a legit level. I think they're contesting what he did with the money that he made on that legit level. You know what I'm saying? When you're able to make money and you're able to grab a rental vehicle and just keep it for any type of time frame, get a rental vehicle and you just keep it for like 7 months. You know what I mean? Like you just got bread like that, to where the fact that it doesn't really matter. Yo, you're my intern. I'm going to have a rental car. The rental car is going to cost me $50 to $100 a day, but that's cool because I make $50,000 a day and I need somebody to have a car to be able to go and drive and get me backwoods and get me Red Bulls and get me my food from the restaurant. I'm just putting it in perspective of why somebody would have a rental car. But you can't tell somebody what to do for every frame of their life. You really can't tell. And if you think Young Thug isn't going to have the lawyers to put all of this in question and put all these questions out there, You're out of your mind. You know what I mean? I think in that Young Thug's first appearance, I think he was even removing one of his lawyers. I think he was actually removing one of his lawyers. Peasy, am I right? When Thug did that first court appearance, his lawyer was like, "We're going to remove the other lawyer involved in the case," or something like that, because he defends several of the associates. Young Thug's people know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Young Thug is going to be prepared for this situation. My only fear is that once they beat the state case, if they beat the state case, that the Feds will come and pick something up on another level. You know what I mean? That the Feds have another, you know what I mean? Like the Feds are going to have a little bit more. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes they'll leave some shit out. You know what I mean? Or sometimes the Feds will pick up on something that the state, that's state doesn't pick up on. We've seen other cases. What was this one movie I was watching? Does anybody know the movie I was watching? It was about this case. It was a state case, but then whoever was involved doing it, he was using mail. So this one guy brought it to the mail department of the Feds. He went through every different division of the Feds, and then he brought it to the mail division of the Feds, and they're like, hold on. They're using the mail? They're using the mail? Oh, we're taking them down. We're taking them down now. So they screwed over the people in the Feds that do the mail, and then the Feds were on them. What movie was that? I can't remember. If anybody remembers that. Wow. I'm going to give y'all 2 more minutes to vote in the poll. So if you haven't voted in the poll, vote right now. The poll was, which was the better rap duo? Is it Jim Jones and Maino, the Lobby Boys, or was it Maino and Uncle Murda, King Kong and Godzilla? King Kong and Godzilla have actually they've actually gotten a little bit of acclaim because of the fact that they attracted Birdman for a potential cash money deal. Now, don't ask me. I really couldn't picture an East Coast, hard duo like, Uncle Murda and Maino with cash money. It really doesn't make much sense to me. But he was bringing AR Rab over at the time. So I think it might have made sense to Birdman, where he was just going to mess with some of these street dudes. You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with Timmy. Yo, hit that link or vote in the poll, bro, if you haven't. I'm going to give y'all another minute to vote in the poll before I end it out. Right now, Maino and Uncle Murda are leading with 59%. The Lobby Boys only have 41%. So it's looking like the majority of the chat is rocking with King Kong and Godzilla, which I'm not really too big on that name. You know what I mean? King Kong and Godzilla. But I mean, I guess it is classic. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows the battles between King Kong and Godzilla, the movies and all that. I'm really liking the Lobby Boys name a little bit more, just to be honest with you guys. That's the name that I'm really liking a little bit more out of these two. Yeah, I'm liking the Lobby Boys name, you guys. I'm thinking the Lobby Boys is where it's at. Timmy B says Lobby Boys. But what do y'all think? I want to know what everybody in the chat thinks. Who y'all rocking with? Who y'all rocking with on that one? I'm giving y'all about 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to shut that poll down. All right, I'm shutting the poll down, you guys. Yes, so the final results for the poll was 58%, 58% for King Kong and Godzilla. That's the Maino and Uncle Murda group. And 41%, even though that doesn't really add up, for Jim Jones and Maino, the Lobby Boys. Meh. Interesting. I thought it would have went the other way. I really would have thought it would have went the other way, to be 100% honest with you. But I guess Jim Jones and Maino, they've got a little bit more to do as the group. Uncle Murda and Maino actually came together. They made some noise. They actually attracted the attention of a CEO like Birdman. So that really says a lot. That's why it shows you the results of the chat to a certain extent. But also, we only had 30 votes in the chat. So you really got to put it to that as well. I'm sure if we would have got a few more votes, it might have been different. But that's probably just me being biased against the King Kong and Godzilla group. You know what I'm saying? Which I shouldn't be, because I'm not all that big on either, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm riding around bumping the Lobby Boys or bumping King Kong and Godzilla every day. So that's why I'm just like leaving it up to y'all. You know what I mean? Obviously I know that they've connected and stuff like that. But just to be real with you, I'm just not all that much into the rappers coming together and forming for albums like that. Like, I mean, and I guess some people do agree with it. Look at what happened with DaBaby. Look what happened with DaBaby and NBA YoungBoy. That album didn't really sell as well as they thought it would. Look what happened with 42 Doug and ESTG. You know what I'm saying? Like, that one didn't do as well either, when you thought that both of them being with CMG, it was going to be a major thing. There might be a reason that we never really saw albums come out with Meek Mill and Wale, more than just their so-called Instagram beef, or was it a Twitter beef? You know what I mean? Like, maybe these albums really don't sell all that well, these duet albums. Some of them do. You know what I mean? Obviously, you ain't gonna say nothing about Jay-Z and Kanye West. Well, Nightman, the Firm album's a much different story, bro. The Firm album is more of a slaughterhouse type thing, bro. You know what I mean? Firm is definitely more of a, you know what I'm saying? That's more of a slaughterhouse thing. And if you don't remember, Slaughterhouse only sold about 75,000 units first week on their big album, and then like 25,000 units first week on their independent album, I believe. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really put the Firm in that category. I'm talking about more so like when artists get together to do duet albums, and it just seems a little bit it's like, they weren't together the whole time. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes it would be different. Like, say we got, let's say, and I'm really just shooting off the top, like two of the leaders from two different groups coming together, like say Jadakiss and Cameron. You know what I mean? Look what we got though. We got Sheik Luch and Ghostface. They actually did the Woo Block thing for a few albums. We got a few cuts with Dark Low. We got a few cuts with Dark Low and Havoc. You know what I mean? Yep, Nightman, Foxy, AZ, and Nas, Cormega, Nature as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I look at that kind of more like the Slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? Putting together several different dope talents. Major salute to Alicia. Oh, Alicia's in the room. I seen you in here mad earlier, Alicia. I didn't see you comment, so I didn't know if you were still in the room, but I appreciate it. $20 super chat from Alicia. You already know what it is. Oh, Nightman. Yeah, that's definitely one that you love to see, when you see two artists come together like Jason and Freddie, aka Fab and Jada. You know what I'm saying? When you actually see a guys like Fab and Jada come together, it makes you think like that's like real life. That's like real life Cassidy versus Lloyd Banks, a mixtape. It's like a Cassidy versus Lloyd Banks mixtape from back in the day coming to life. You know what I mean? When we get to see Jadakiss and Fab actually coming together. You know what I mean? That was a really good pairing. You know what I'm saying? Jay and Kanye, natural pairing, obviously. You know what I'm saying? We never got the Drake and Gucci Man album. You know what I'm saying? Look at the difference. Little Dirk and Lil Baby sold 150,000 first week. NBA Youngboy and the Baby, what did they sell first week? Was it like 35,000? You know what I mean? Like, just because all I'm saying is just because you put together a duet album with another dope rapper, it doesn't mean it's gonna sell. And I was kind of relating that to why we never got the Meek Mill, why we never got the Meek Mill Wale album. Now, if we got the 50 Cent Eminem album, that would have sold through the roof. You know what I'm saying? But that was a different time. That was 2003, 2004. If they would have put that out at the right time, probably, let me think, if they would have put that out right after Eminem's Encore album, whoo, they would have went through the roof. They would have saved Eminem's career if they would have put that shit out, because Encore really made Eminem's fan base dip a little bit. But if they would have actually put that out, the Eminem and 50 Cent album, and it was like, yeah, Alicia says 50 and M would have been epic. And Alicia, I think what they were doing with the re-up, I think yeah, you're funny, Night Man. But what they were doing with the re-up, I really feel like that would have been a great album for them. You know what I mean? Because there was all the rumors of what their album title was going to be. I really didn't like the titles that they were rumored to come up with. I thought the re-up would have been a perfect album title for the both of them, and they could have featured. That's how they wanted the re-up to be. That was what it was being promoted at. It was being promoted as, the resurgence of Shady and, pushing G Unit. So they could have done that, but they should have just had the 3 or 5 songs. They should have had 3 songs at least with just M and 50 that they promoted. I think they did have 3 songs, and they should have did 3 videos and promoted it as that. You know what I mean? Yeah, if Dre produced it as well. Yeah, if Dre produced it, it would have been epic. That would have been a major duet album right there, you guys. There's others though. There's others though that what do we got? What other duet albums do we got? You know what I mean? What other duet albums do you guys like out there? Not everyone is gonna dud out, you know what I mean? But the major labels want to capitalize. Sometimes the artists want to capitalize, you know what I mean? You're not going to hit a home run every time, though. You know what I mean? Not everybody is going to come out with an album like Heroes, like Lil Durk and Little Baby, and it's just going to go. You know what I mean? It even took that album a little bit of time. I'm pretty sure at this point, it actually has gone platinum. I would have to say at this point it's gone platinum. Late last year, I think me and my guy, you know what I mean? We was reading up some hip hop news one day, and we was just like, damn, 693,000. You know what I mean? We were just going over some shit, breaking down some shit for some news stories and shit like that. And the fact that Lil Durk, you know, was moving that many units was pretty good. You know what I mean? But Lil Baby's other album moved like 3 million. So we were kind of talking about it like the fact that Little Baby's album kind of poured over into making Dirk have some good sales as well. Yep, Drake and Future. Drake and Future for sure. And even what Drake and Kanye West did, you know what I mean? What Drake and Kanye West did to help promote Larry Hoover was dope. What's going on, Kyrie? Appreciate you for tapping in. Alicia says Little Baby is making big moves. Yeah, Little Baby is on top of the world right now. You know what I mean? From a guy who stepped into the game, you know what I mean? From a guy who stepped into the game and really didn't believe in it. You know what I mean? He really questioned it. He was like, do I really need to waste all my time going here and here and here? And I'm not even getting paid. Look at him now. Now he's getting paid $100,000 each time he goes here, and then $100,000 when he goes here, and another $100,000 when he goes here. And he's loving it. He's loving it right now, you guys. He just had to work for it a little bit. He had to work for it a little bit. You know what I mean? You can't expect it all to be handed to you right away. I mean, shit, not everybody just gets the opportunity to go on the Breakfast Club because their label owner decides they're going to go do an interview and that they want to bring you. I'm pretty sure the first time that little baby was on the Breakfast Club, all the guys didn't know if he was going to surge as crazy as he went. And then he actually went super crazy, you guys, and got the Drake record, and everybody started quoting the lyrics, started liking his delivery. You know what I mean? Now, one guy who was really on all of these artists early was Rollo. Rollo was on all of these artists early, but a little bit late. I mean, I was on NBA YoungBoy and Little Durk before Rollo did features with them. But what Rollo does and what I do is two dramatically different things. Rollo is actually getting these guys for features. Rollo is getting these guys in music videos. Me, I'm doing interviews and blogs. You know what I'm saying? But Rollo got NBA YoungBoy at a great time. Rollo linked up with Little Durk at the perfect time. Uh, 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 Rollo actually also linked up with Little Baby before he blew up and went crazy. All these guys Rollo linked up with and did music with, alongside Future, alongside Gucci Man. Rollo arguably had the best features in the game, y'all. Arguably the best features in the game. Rollo was not playing. You know, the only thing was is that Rollo was more known for his antics than his music. Rollo was trying to put out a hit record. It's obvious. You hear me list all these people he was working with. He was trying to put out a hit record so that his music would become bigger than his antics. You know, but that's why we remember him. He's been incarcerated since 2018 April. His celebrity has only grown since then. I know when Rollo comes home, he's going to come home to major opportunities, bigger opportunities, because of all that work that he put in the past, you guys, working with all of these big names. You know what I mean? Working with all these big names. Rollo is a boss. Rollo is definitely a boss, Peasy. We'll see what happens when he comes home. If he decides to stay as an independent boss, which I don't think is the best move. I don't think he's going to stay independent, though. I think he will be with a major, but not with any cosign. You know what I mean? I don't think Rollo will actually have a cosign when he's at the major. I think Rollo will be by himself. What's going on? We got Tyson Garcia in the building tonight. Appreciate you, man. Kyrie says, would Banks have blown up if he was signed outside of G Unit? Let me think about that. Would Lloyd Banks, everybody send in your open questions right now if you have any. At the end of my live podcast, I always do open questions. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell. Never miss one of my live podcasts. Also, don't miss the content that we put out throughout the whole day. We're always dropping new content. But anyways, do I think Lloyd Banks would have blown up if he was signed outside of G Unit? Look what happened to 50 Cent when he was signed outside of G Unit and Interscope. When 50 Cent was signed with Columbia, your best bet, your best wish, your best hope for 50 would have been that he would have sold 100,000 units in his first week. You know what I mean? That would have been your best bet for a guy like 50 Cent when he was signed with Columbia and he didn't have the machine behind him. Now, in relation to Lloyd Banks, if Lloyd Banks was not signed under G Unit Interscope, if Banks didn't have the reach to get the likes of Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Eminem, you know what I'm saying? All the dopest producers in the game. If he didn't have the reach to get all these talented people on his projects, The Game, You know what I mean? If he didn't have that reach, he would be in a similar position to 50 Cent when he was on Columbia. So let me pose one more poll question, you guys. Which album was better? I'm putting up the poll right now, you guys. I want to know which album was better in your opinion. I want to know which album was better in your opinion, you guys. The poll is up right now. Which album was better? 50 Cent, Power of the Dollar, or Lloyd Banks, Hunger for More 2? Because I think if Lloyd Banks didn't have the major behind him, he would have kind of been stuck like 50 was when 50 wasn't signed to a major label, or he was signed to a really good label, but he didn't have the major talent backing him. You know, 50's music was really good back then. Lloyd Banks has really good rap music. You know what I'm saying? Tupac wrote exceptionally good poetry. You know what I mean? But when he was talking about me against the world, or he was talking about all eyes on me, you know what I'm saying? That's when he sold his records. You know what I'm talking about? That's when he charted #1 while he was locked up, came home. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to discredit any of other Tupac's older material, because I'm a fan of a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was released when I was much younger, I have gone back and listened to the Tupac catalog. Amazing catalog from Pac. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jay-Z have two of the best hip hop catalogs. You know what I mean? When you compare to Biggie, 2 albums, you know what I mean? Big L, 2 albums, you know what I'm saying? So you got to really put that shit in perspective, you know what I mean, when we're talking about hip hop catalogs. But right now we're doing some open questions. If anybody has any, what's up, Belicio? Appreciate you for tapping in. Hell yeah, Rez. Hell yeah, Rez. You really love Tupac when he's on that shit. And Me Against the World was before Death Row, obviously. That's just when he was rocking with Interscope. You know what I mean? But that's how the connection with Death Row was made so easily. Various connections were made so easily by the Interscope being, with Death Row. What's up, Belicio? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. We had a great live discussion tonight. A couple different topics. Right now, we're just doing some open questions, as I always do to end the shows. Dave has an interesting perspective right here. Everybody post yours as well and vote in the poll. Vote in the poll, you guys, if you haven't. Dave said, I think that Banks had a better rap catalog afterwards. It's just that 50 leveraged the position he had and moved on to do things like movies and TV. Yeah, Dave, and that's what goes back to when 50 had told Banks, Buck, Yayo, whoever else that Sha Money was managing, whoever Sha Money was managing, you know what I'm saying? Whoever Sha Money was managing at that point with G Unit, he told them, yo, guys, things aren't working out with me and Sha Money. Y'all need to go find new management. At that point in time, Dave, I really do believe that Lloyd Banks could have went to any major marketing firm, any major PR or agent in Hollywood and been like, I'm Lloyd Banks. Hey, I actually did all this stuff with these movies. We all know what kind of movies Banks was doing back then. Why wouldn't Banks go take on a major agent in the game and make his moves? Lloyd Banks ended up in Before I Self-Destruct as a teacher, if memory serves. You know what I'm saying? If memory serves, he ended up in Before I Self-Destruct as a teacher. So let's be 100% real when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Like, Lloyd Banks had an opportunity, and that's what I think really him not taking advantage of it. I think that hindered his future when it came to actually making it into the television market, the movie market, like 50 did. 50 went out there and he grinded and he hustled. 50 hustled, you guys, to get that movie deal where he made all of those kind of like movies that you would watch once. You know what I mean? And they didn't really have that much repeat value, even though they had the likes of what, like Bruce Willis. They had like Bruce Willis in it. Guy had Forrest Whitaker. I love Forrest Whitaker, man. Who else did he have in it? He had a lot of actors that I liked. He had Nicolas Cage. I'm a big Nick Cage guy. You know what I mean? John Cusack. He had all these dope actors in it and shit. And all the movies just weren't really that great. So TV is really where he's achieved the most out of, you know what I mean? Out of what he does. Except the only thing I think he's running to an issue with is the time frames that the shows are run. 50 needs a market where he can release television shows on a more frequent basis. Same thing with his albums, though. Back in the day, you guys, 50 needed an opportunity to release albums like 5 or 6 times a year, not three. You know what I mean? He needed to release albums more on a Master P no limit like schedule. But yeah, you guys, man, if you're not subscribed to the video, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss my live videos. I want everybody to follow me here on Instagram. Whoever follows me on the gram, I'm going to follow you guys back. If you guys want me to subscribe to you on YouTube, I'm going to subscribe to everybody that wants me to subscribe to them. All you got to do is comment on my interview with Kid Kid. That interview is actually pinned up right now. The interview with Kid Kid is pinned up. All you got to do is click on it, drop a comment, and I'm going to literally go follow you back on YouTube if you want me to subscribe to your channel. So if you not only want to follow me on Instagram, but if you want me to follow you here on YouTube, I will follow everybody back that subscribes to the channel tonight. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a look at the poll right now. See what's going. Let me go see what's going on with the poll. I'm going to give y'all another couple minutes to vote in the poll. Which album was better? 50 Cent, Power of the Dollar. Lloyd Banks, Hunger for More 2. Power of the Dollar, 50 Cent. It's 55%. Power of the Dollar is winning right now with 55%. Hunger for More 2 has 45%, you guys. So get your last votes in the poll. And if anybody has any last questions before we get up out of here, Peasy asked, how did you get your interview with Kid Kid? Kid Kid actually has a label called Millionaire Records. I actually reached out to Kid Kid. The first time I actually got an interview with Kid Kid, let me take you back there. The first time I ever got an interview with Kid Kid, he actually invited me to the G Unit offices. Yeah, I think it was just simply from an email I got a hold of whoever was managing Kid Kid at the time. And more recently, I've contacted his Millionaire label because that's his label, Millionaire Records. But back then, I had hit his manager, and they told me to meet him at the G Unit offices, the This Is 50 offices. So this is the time when I was actually at the G Unit offices in Manhattan, and that's when I first interviewed Kid Kid. Very dope interview. Kid Kid is the man. You know what I'm saying? I actually ran into him when I was running around with Hot Boy Turk in Manhattan, like a year later, or I don't know, maybe a few months later, maybe somewhere around there. He was rocking with G Unit still, and him and Turk were chopping it up. It was dope, man. It was dope running around with those guys all through New York, Atlanta, New Orleans, or Louis. Sorry, Kid. My bad. I would be 1 second. Yep, New Orleans. I got it right. But yeah, I want everybody to follow me on the gram, yo. It's Mikey T, the movie star. Like I said, whoever follows me, I will be following you guys back immediately. Let me go see if anybody followed me. I'm gonna follow y'all back right now. see. Nope, just a bunch of likes. Just a bunch of likes. I gotta delete that shit. I gotta delete that shit. My dude Gilly be doing his thing, bro. Gilly be doing his thing. Hell yeah. Major salute to Gilly the Kid. He has a new show called Intros. If y'all didn't know about that, he has a new show called Intros where he's actually going to be interviewing people making their name in the game and shit like that. Let me see. David actually responded. He said, 50 set them all up with an opportunity to make their own ways in the world. They set up their own stuff, though, independently, but it wasn't as successful without 50 Cent. Yeah, you're right. Tony Yayo did put out several mixtapes. Yayo actually appeared in a few movies as well. Does anybody know a movie that Tony Yayo appeared in besides SWAT 2? I could have sworn there was another movie that Tony Yayo was in. If anybody knows it, please leave it in the chat right now, or just post it in the comments after the video. But yeah, Young Buck put up several mixtapes. You know what I mean? Young Buck almost had the opportunity to sign with several different labels as well, but ultimately he ended up signing back with 50 Cent. You know, Lloyd Banks as well put out the Hunger for More 2 album with 50 Cent. You know, Banks has an incredible touring history, though. So, you know, that's something he can fall back on. You know, he has an amazing catalog to tour as well. And then if there's ever a G Unit reunion, you know what I mean? If there's ever a G Unit reunion, Lloyd Banks is going to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So there's always those little things to fall back on. Who else do we got? Who else did I not go over? Yeah, that's pretty much all the guys from G Unit right there. But yeah. Oh yeah, Dave, I got some new interviews coming out soon. You need to stay tuned because I got some dope new interviews coming out. Also some dope throwback classics. Some amazing new interviews. I really like the fact that I got to interview a couple of the dopest new bloggers in the last few weeks. You know what I mean? A lot of guys are turning it up on the internet right now. But y'all, I appreciate everybody for tapping into this live video tonight. Really do. Hope y'all subscribe to the channel. Hope y'all hit that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? Hit that notification bell, you guys, so you never miss one of my live videos. I'm about to light up. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next episode. Unless anybody got any final questions. Anybody wants this, you know what I mean? Super chat will always make the video go longer. But if anybody has any questions, just hit it in the chat. I'm about to actually check the poll. I didn't. So basically, which album was better? Which album was better, you guys? 64% of the vote. What up, Vegeta Arts? 64% of the vote says Power of the Dollar. 64% of the vote says Power of the Dollar, and 36% of the vote says The Hunger for More. So it looks like Power of the Dollar is leading on this one. I believe that as well. Power of the Dollar was probably my favorite 50 Cent album. That was really probably a, you know what I mean? That was kind of probably not the best way to go with it. All right, I'm going to end that. Wow, 67% Power of the Dollar, 33% Hunger for More. I'm going to end the poll. Guys, I appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. I will see you tomorrow night for another episode. Be sure to tap in. Don't miss it. Don't miss Mikey T, the movie star. You never know what I'm going to say. You never know who's going to pop in. I'll see y'all tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Don't miss it.